Yo, welcome back to another episode of Doing the Mos. Whether you're watching us here on YouTube or listening to us on Apple or Spotify or wherever you are, we're really happy to have you. Now today we have a lot going on. There's so much to discuss. We have two amazing guests. Really appreciate both of them for coming through. We got DenverStruck, the one and only. Really, there's like so much we could talk about either of these guys. There's just like, I feel like this episode is just going to be so juicy. There's just so much to talk about, whether it's about basketball, whether it's about YouTube, whether it's just in general, you know, there's just so many aspects we're going to touch and cover. So DenverStruck is going to be our first guest. I hope you guys are excited about that. DenverStruck is one of the best editors out here. I'm going to introduce him obviously right before we have him, so we don't have to discuss that right now. And the second person is going to be our first ever D1 athlete on the podcast. So I hope you guys are excited. It might not be what you expect, but it's going to get there. So we're not going to be really, I don't want to give away too much. You guys need to be here. You need to listen throughout because we're going to have them both on together. These are two of the closest people that I've known since I started. I started this journey years ago, like from the jump. And we're going to discuss that when I have them both together, how they basically been with me since the very beginning, and how I feel like maybe neither of us, or all three of us I should say, wouldn't be here without the other. Like we all influenced each other in different various ways, and that's going to be the best part about it. So thank you guys for being here once again. Let's get to it. Make sure you guys subscribe for more content. We're going to be doing this often, and let's do it. So our first guest, he honestly needs no introduction at all. DenverStruck, one of my favorite editors out here in the community by far. There's like nothing this man can't do. He puts so much work and effort into his craft, and he deserves all the success he gets and then some. So make sure you guys are actually showing both these guys so much love as they go. Can we just play this intro clip? This is one of my favorite intros on YouTube by far.
Run from it.
That's me right there. That's me. It says Mos.
And now
okay.
It's here. What should I say?
Ladies and gentlemen, I have one thing to say, and that reality is often disappointing. I, Dana, the 2K God. Yes! Power Stone activate!
Greatness. This is greatness. Cinematic greatness.
Come on! One more! Ah!
Let's go ahead and introduce the one and only Denver.
Teleport you out!
Yo, Denver.
How we doing, man?
How you doing, man, bro? Honestly, I could watch your intros all day, man.
I gotta say something about that intro, man. Funny thing about that one is when we were filming that, like you saw like the left hook. Like I actually I didn't mean to, but like I actually like clocked him with that, and then he actually was trying to like push me down, bro. Like there was no faking anything there. It was all real.
That's awesome, man. I'm good, man. Pleasure having you, man. I appreciate you for giving us some of your time, bro.
Of course.
We have so much to talk about. Like I've known you for so long. It's 2K17, I believe, maybe 16 even.
I think 16, because remember the tournament that was on 2K16.
Yes.
That's like 5 years ago now, bro. That's crazy.
That is actually insane, man. We've been through a lot of ups and downs. You're actually the first person to like ruin my streak. I was in a tournament, not tournament. We were doing wagers back then. I remember, and I was on like a high streak, and then you came and destroyed me.
Yeah, bro, I do remember that.
I even pulled out I lagged out. I got error coded, all that, and you still whooped me.
Dude, I remember that, and then the intro too, the Ariana Grande intro. I'll never forget that. I still remember that to this day.
For sure, man. All right, so this podcast, as you know, we're here to learn more about you, learn where Denver came from, because people are confused, bro. People think you're from Denver. Can we go through this whole situation and where your name came from, and then tell us where you're from and all that? Go for it.
Of course. Well, funny fact. Well, it's not. I get that all the time. Like in real life, YouTube. Whenever I meet a new person, they say, "Oh, are you from Denver?" Every single time. I'm not from Denver. Not from the U.S. Born and raised in Canada, but I moved around a lot of times. So like I was born in London, Ontario, but then like when I was younger, I moved to Edmonton. It's like west of Canada, and then I moved back. So I moved a lot of times in my life, like about 8. But like now, I've been set for about a couple of years now. And I got the name DenverStruck, fun fact, because like my name's Denver. My parents just named me that because they don't like giving odd names other than maybe Isaiah. Like my sister, I'm not gonna give my sister's names, but like they're not normal names either. So that's how I got that name. And then DenverStruck, I mean, if you watch my videos, like you probably know I like to come in with a bang a lot of times. So DenverStruck, and it just flowed well.
Yo, I'm just gonna be honest with you. I didn't even know your name was Denver. Like,
Okay, like I guess I'll clear it up right now. I always tell my stream, like, that's not even my name, but, like, it actually is my name. I just be trolling. It actually is my name.
that's awesome, man. That's awesome. So we all know Isaiah. If anyone watches your streams or anything, yeah, he's one of my favorite people out there. Shout out to Isaiah. We're gonna need him on here. I'm just letting you know. Like, you're gonna have to.
I was telling him that. He was like, "Oh, I don't want to come in. It might be a little bit awkward." I was like, "No, you gotta come in."
Definitely not.
By the way, before we started this, he was the one who fixed my audio problem, so we could even do this in the first place.
Nah, shout out to Isaiah. So how many sisters do you have? Two?
I have two.
Two, yep. That's what I thought.
Yeah,
so you're the oldest or you're the second oldest?
I'm the middle child, right? I'm the second oldest, so I have a sister younger than me, and then Isaiah's the youngest, and I have one sister older than me who's 1 year older than me, so she just finished university.
Nice. So let us know how that role is as an older brother, because I'm the oldest brother in my family, and I feel like I have a responsibility. Even if like I had a sister, I feel like that was 1 year older, I still feel like you're the man more or less, right? So how's that going?
Yeah, no, I for sure feel that. Like, honestly, the man part, I'm gonna be honest, I don't really feel that much because like my oldest sister, like she's, I don't know, like the easiest way to describe it, she's pretty alpha, I guess. She's really confident. So like, and I wasn't like really the best in school, to be honest. I got like B's, little A's, nothing crazy, but like both my sisters are A's. So like if I ever had trouble, I'd always go to my older sister. But like I can tell you, Isaiah, you know Isaiah, also we talking about him. He obviously, I mean, I can tell as an older brother, he looks up to me. So I try to set an example, whether that goes like with basketball when he was younger, whether it goes with YouTube, streaming. I just try to set like a good work example of perseverance, and then obviously putting in the work too. Like nothing comes gifted, so like you got to work your ass off.
Nah, and you're like the perfect example of that. You've been doing this for so long. You never, nah, for real. Like I'm not even just saying that because you hear me. Like you're one of the dudes that puts in so much effort and work into your craft, and we're gonna talk about all that YouTube stuff. I have a video of you playing basketball. I wish knew we were gonna talk about Isaiah more. I would have had it where you're both playing, because usually he uploads videos of YouTube playing. So let's see if that video can roll right now. Denver's jumper. You remember this day? I think this is.
I do. You ready the jumper or not?
I like it, man. I like it. I'm trying to figure out who it looks like. I know you be saying Mellow. I see. I don't know, but where do you? What do you see?
To be honest, bro, I don't really know what form it looks like. When I was a kid, people said Steve Nash, but that was when I was way younger. So like now, I'm not 100% sure. That one was just a whack form because I was shooting from deep. But I don't know.
Range,
like, if I had to compare it, like I guess maybe like Steve Nash with like an upper mix of something else. I don't know.
Nah, I like it, man. I like it. We need to play ball someday, man. So I met you one time. We're gonna go through that whole scenario.
Yes,
so it was during the parade. It was, man, Toronto, man. I wanna, before we get into the whole parade aspect and everything that went on, can we just talk about like Canada, like in general? So I drove out there. This is a little part of my drive going into Canada and all that, because I like going to like when things happen in NBA history. Like it's very important to me seeing it, and Canada put on a show for them. Like it was everywhere, Toronto, everywhere. And man, go ahead. Tell me what that meant for the city or for the country.
Okay, I want to, well, I mean, for the country, I mean everything, like in general, because as a kid, I always get like trolled about in the stream because like I root for two teams. There's like a quick backstory behind that. But I root for the Raptors and Lakers. But for Raptors, it meant a lot because as a kid growing up watching the Raptors, we were at best a low seed playoff team, which is actually like one of the worst positions you can be in as a team because you're just a middle of the tire team. So we just got knocked out every year with Bosh, Vince early. We didn't really make it anywhere. We made that trade for Kawhi, the whole thing turned. And honestly, as a Raptors fan, I don't think any Raptors fans expected him to stay. So the fact that we won that the first year with Nick Nurse as the head coach, I mean, it was legendary, especially for the country too, especially with all the LeBronto jokes. It was like a cherry on top, kind of like full circle kind of moment.
Nah, for sure. So that day we met, And you guys could see in that clip how like packed it was. It was so packed. It was the most. It was the most people at a parade at that time ever. So I went to the Cleveland one as well because I like LeBron, and like I said, I like the whole history aspect. So I drive out. It doesn't matter because it's the first time Cleveland won, first time Toronto won. And it was just a big deal. So we met on that day. I think we have the picture coming right there. Yeah,
oh no, I don't like that picture. I don't like that picture, bro.
My son. Is it because of the no socks, no shoes?
Yes,
no.
bro, I got played so bad for that picture on Twitter, and there's like a big backstory behind it. But honestly, I look atrocious in that picture, so I deserve to get flamed. I'm wearing sandals. My feet were disgusting. It was bad.
It was a long day, man. I don't blame you. So it actually, like that day, there was a shooting that happened. And that's why we had to dip. We couldn't stay too long together because of how packed it was. And it's just sad that people don't always look in the positive and everything. Sometimes they make negative happen out of nowhere. Like it was a good day. Everyone was having a good time. We were supposed to enjoy ourselves. Like this is the first ever scenario where this happens and something like that happens. It's just, man, hard times out here.
Yeah, no, because I don't know if like you ever mentioned it, but we were also supposed to meet, if you guys know, like Logic Looks, like we were also supposed to meet him that day too, like all three of us linked up for a little bit. But yeah, there was, as you said, a shooting. There was also like a stabbing, not even far from where we were. So I don't know, that kind of weirded out the vibe a little, but like in general, like the whole experience was crazy. And as you said, like it was like packed. Like if you were at the parade, like anywhere, like in it, beside it, you want to see the buses, try to get your jersey signed, you had no space to move. It was crazy.
That is a fact. That is a fact. So you brought up Vince Carter, you brought up Chris Bosh and all that, but who is the first person that made you fall in love with basketball? Was it Kobe who's behind you, or?
I mean, you know my answer. It's Kobe Bryant. Like that's the reason why I'm a Lakers fan, because as a kid, he was one of the first people I watched. He instantly became my favorite player as a kid, so that's why I was always a Lakers fan as a kid. But growing up, like we only have one team in Canada, so I'm not going to not root for the Raptors. But I mean, yeah, for sure. My favorite player of all time, inspiration of basketball, is Kobe Bryant. He's the one that got it started. And funny fact, after he retired, honestly, I tried to get into so many young players, because I will feel like you will definitely experience this once LeBron retires, because once your favorite player goes, you lose a little bit of the sport. I'm not gonna lie, you lose a little bit that goes into the sport. You don't have the same drive to watch it every single day. You don't have the same drive to root for it unless you're really a team heavy type of kind of fan. So once Kobe retired, I didn't have anybody for like 3 years until, as many of you guys know, Luka came, and then he kind of reignited that.
Luka Magic, man. Yo, and it's crazy because I'm not trying to be racist or anything, but you kind of look like it. Like I see there was some. I'm just messing with you.
Okay, I don't get Luka a lot, but like when I get the right haircut, I always get Kristaps too, because I'm lanky in real life, so I always get Kristaps all the time.
That's kind of where I was moving for. Like you play on his team type. I mess with it. Nah. No, that's awesome. So, what age were you playing basketball up there? Like, how's the basketball scene in Canada in general? Like, is it everywhere? Like, I seen you playing in the schoolyard, but like in New York, everyone grows up playing basketball. Like, almost everybody. So, how's it over there?
Well, yeah, Ontario specifically, because that's where I'm at, right? Ontario is like really good for basketball. That's where like a lot of stars came from. I mean, Jamal Murray grew up, I think, 20 to 30 minutes away from where I'm at. Andrew Wiggins grew up here too. So like Ontario specifically is really good. The whole of Canada is a different story. I'm not going to say it's bad, but like you obviously know, as a lot of people know, like hockey's the main sport here. So growing up, at least in Ontario, is better for him, because that's probably the most heavy basketball place in Canada. So when I was growing up playing basketball all the time, it was good, but like I really got a reality shock when some of my teams travel to the States and you just see the kind of athletes there are in the US and like the kind of talent level. It's crazy, man.
Yeah, but that's one of those things where here we're playing it at such a younger age probably, and it's so like driven or focused. Like I remember there's nothing with, like every day we play basketball, no matter what. It just was always there. So I know over there you guys are more hockey driven for sure. Have you ever tried playing hockey?
I mean, I tried playing, like, ball hockey's fun. Like, that's just, I'll say hockey on the road. Like, that's fun with friends, man. Actual hockey, I can barely skate, bro. I can barely skate. So, that is a no-no for sure. But, like, growing up playing basketball, no, I was lucky because where I grew up, there were two other, like, kids beside me only, like, 2 years younger than me. So, like, and they were really into basketball heavy. So, I got lucky because literally, I'm not joking, everybody at my high school, loved hockey. There was only like one guy that even remotely liked basketball, and he was a complete casual. So that's how that went down. Yeah.
That's awesome. Speaking of casuals, no, I'm just playing. So what I'm kidding. So this whole LeBron going to the Lakers thing. So you weren't a big LeBron fan before that, but now he's there. So what is the vibe?
Okay, like, I'm just gonna be honest, bro. Like, you know, too, I'm not a LeBron fan at all. Respect to LeBron, but I feel like a lot of people can relate to this. It's not even LeBron himself, but I feel like a lot of the reason a lot of the stigma comes around LeBron is because of his fan base, if that makes sense. Now, I'm not saying every LeBron fan's toxic, but if you go on social media, he clearly has the biggest following out of any NBA player. So there will come toxic fans. So it kind of puts a little bit of a dirty taste in your mouth. But LeBron himself going to the Lakers, I mean, it was obviously a good thing because the Lakers were honestly after Kobe got injured, and then Dwight Howard left. It all went down there for like 7 years until LeBron came. So I can not only respect LeBron for joining the team because the amount of what's it called? I don't know. Basically, pressure. Pressure is what I'm looking for. Amount of pressure that he has to live up to going to LA when he's already like 34 years old. He has to win a championship because if he doesn't win a championship, he's always going to look as that one Laker great that didn't win a championship. Second, basically his first year. His first year he played with a trash team. His first year with a good teammate, he wins a championship in the bubble. So I'm not the biggest LeBron fan, but I respect that man on crazy levels because the dedication that man has to the sport and his body is like top 10 in the world. It's crazy.
No, that's for sure. So I plan to talk to Legs a little bit later about that whole, like not just LeBron, but the whole athleticism thing when it goes to different sports. But let's talk about you. So have you been like working out? I know you've been working out a lot lately, but has that always been something on your mind, or how do you take care of your body?
As a kid, I never worked out. I was like, you can go back to some of my videos. Like, I was insanely skinny, like almost to a point where I was anorexic. That wasn't even on purpose, but I explained this many times in streams. I'm not a meat eater. Pause. I don't like meat that much, so I never really had a bunch of skin on my bones, if you want to say that. So I was just always playing sports when I was growing up, and I was eating a lot of vegetables, lettuce, rice, stuff that didn't really pack a lot of muscle in it. So I don't know. As a kid growing up, I never really had to stay in shape because I was just playing basketball for that. So it was never really looked at as like, oh, this is what I'm going to do, play in shape. It was just more like, oh, this is fun, so I'm going to go do this. Until like I think a year and a half ago, where I think I posted it on Twitter. I was bike riding home after playing basketball with my brother, and I fell off my bike and like I fractured my arm. So that happened, and then I was like, I couldn't even move my arm for like a solid like 2 weeks to a month. So because of that, I'm not gonna lie, I actually did gain quite a bit of weight. You can go back and see some of those videos. I did gain quite a bit of weight. So I looked at myself. I'm like, damn, I've never kind of been like this before in my life. I've always been the super skinny kid, and now I'm not really playing basketball like that anymore. So it comes to a point of like, yo, if I'm not gonna be playing basketball every single day, I gotta make something happen. So I'm not on like, I'm gonna say like some super crazy consistent workout plan because like when I go to the gym, I work out pretty much what I want. I don't have a set thing I have to do every single day. But I basically hit the gym, and if the gym's not open, I do calisthenics. So that's what I do to stay in shape.
Especially during this pandemic, can relate to this, like maybe the whole gaining weight or just not doing as much, being as active. And as we get older, basketball just kind of moves away from your life. Like me, I used to only play basketball, and now I probably haven't picked up a basketball besides the pandemic that year, maybe a year before that. So it gets to you.
I know it gets to that point though, right? Because you really think like, oh, you're in good shape, but then it starts to really hit you because like if you don't eat the greatest either, right? As a kid, let's be honest, most of us, we ate McDonald's all the time, we ate this, that, and the third, right? So when you grow up and you start eating that, and then you don't go play basketball for 5 hours outside, you start to see the results. So you got to make something else happen, whether, like I said, it's the gym, running, calisthenics. You got to have kind of a different plan.
Nah, for sure. I'm with you 100%. You know me. I eat Big Macs all day. We're going to talk about that with
I know. I was waiting for Lex to join because that's, an inside joke. You know?
So speaking about this whole basketball thing right now and everything. So if this video, if it hits let's say 5,000 views, right? Which is normal. That's what we've been hitting on these videos, right? Just hit
let's
5,000. All right, just 5,000. I'm gonna come up there and we're gonna play some ball. All right, give it.
I'm so down. I am so down, dude. Like best out of 3 wager. I'm so down.
Okay, so I need likes too. Can you set a like goal, man? That's all you.
All right, so you said 5,000 views. So like I'm trying to like equate that in my head to like a normal amount of likes. Like this would be a lot. I was gonna say a K, but like a K for 5,000 views is a lot. So let's try to hit like 750. 750 is a good amount.
750. Okay, so since you said 750, let's make it 7,500 views. Because 5,000, like I said, it's normal. All right? It has to be harder because I live mad far from you. So I need to make it worth it.
It ain't going to be the most cheap. So we got to up the stakes a little bit, you know?
Let's get it. That's exciting, man. Something to look forward to. So now let's talk about this whole YouTube situation. So when did you, I know you watch a lot of YouTube. Who was your inspiration coming into it? Like, who'd you like watching?
I did expect this question. I mean, it's a great question though, right? Like if you do YouTube, like obviously it's a common question you're gonna get. I mean, as a kid, I watched, as probably most people did, a lot of Jesser, a lot of Cash, a lot of OSN, Road to Shot from FIFA, KSI a little bit, not like heavy, but KSI a little bit too. Those were like the main creators I watched, and I feel like that definitely does reflect onto my videos a bit. I've said many times like OSN was my favorite creator, but like all those creators, like they were just like in a certain group for me where they were like my favorite by far, you know? So like when I made videos, I was just trying to recreate that same like, not like copy, you know what I mean, but like kind of recreate that same kind of hype and entertainment. Because I always just want, my only goal on YouTube is just to entertain people. That's all I care about. I don't care about like views, this, that, and the third. I just want to entertain as much people as I can daily.
And that's what you do, man. Whether it's your streams or your videos, like you always put in the money you're putting into it. Like all your pack openings and stuff, people notice that, man.
Bro, I gotta talk about this pack openings, okay? Because people love to say I get juiced odds. I don't get juiced odds. And bro, I don't know if you saw, but I don't even like talking about this because there's so much money. I spent $300 when Luka dropped. I didn't pull a single opal, Mos. I didn't pull a single one. So, I mean, but it's just simple business. So, like, return on investment. So, like, I mean, and like I said, watching Jesser grow up, watching Road to Shaw, Cash Nasty, like, dude, their pack openings were so fun to watch. So I'm just trying to bring that same kind of entertainment.
And you do it. You're unlike a lot of people that do it. Your pack openings are actually enjoyable. And then, so we got some questions from other people. You see it right there. So Yi wants to know, do you have any other source of income? So what I think is you do edit for other people, or at least you did for a certain amount of time. I'm sure YouTube's like your main job, but let us know a little bit more about that if you don't mind.
Yeah, no, for sure. I mean, because I put it out there publicly before a couple of times too, right? So, I mean, growing up, like once I started actually doing YouTube, like in like 2K18, I'd say, that until pretty much 2K21, I always edited for somebody. I think I started with G-Sice. Most people should know me from the park community. I started with him. And now if you're an editor, I just got one tip for you. Obviously put in work, but like it's all about the connections you make. Because one connection can lead to 20. And that's how I got all my connections down the road. So G-Sice ended up down the road leading to Agent, Hank the Tank back in the day, and then it eventually lead up to MMG. So I worked with MMG from, I say 2K19, like early 2K19 until literally 2K21. I was always working with him, and I've always said, Matt's a great guy. He pays really good money. I mean, you look at his views, he's going to pay pretty good money, right? So what I just did was I did YouTube too, and I was still, I was still doing my thing on YouTube, doing sponsors most of the time. So I could have, honestly, at the time, done just my own YouTube. But like, I just think about it smart. If I'm trying to set myself up for my future too, I definitely want to have a good amount in the bank too, right? So it's just like working 2 jobs, right? I was just working an editing job and then actually editing my own videos. So that's why I do it, Matt, up until 2K21. And then I started working with him because I'm like, yo, and he saw it coming too. I just want to go 110% on my channel as much as I can.
Yep, and I think you made the right decision with staying there for a long time. Like, I have this discussion with people a lot when I stream. People are always like, oh, I want to leave my job, but they don't have something already ready, or they just like, they're tired of it. But I think you did the right thing while you were focused on your main job, but you had a mission. You wanted to, obviously you wanted to move on and do your own thing, but I think you played it out right, man. Good stuff. And
yeah, it's all about like the groundwork, right? So like you want to put the groundwork in. So like even before that, when I was just starting my YouTube channel, I worked at a diner, I worked at this, that, and the third kind of places. So you just gotta lay the groundwork. I mean, you don't have to, but like you were talking about, I would try to save up some money because nothing, even now, nothing in YouTube's guaranteed, nothing in Twitch is guaranteed. So you want to have like a backing just in case shit goes south.
For sure, for sure. So I see Nikki's tweet pull up right here. What motivates y'all to keep doing YouTube, and how do you edit banger videos? So speaking of bangers, this is the guy right here. All the bangers for sure. So what's your motivation, man? Is it the big picture, or?
I'm not gonna lie, it is. It is the big picture, because like I'm not gonna say like, oh, I want to have 10 millions of subs or whatever. But like I was talking about earlier, I just want to entertain as much people as I can, and I feel like, you know, I have a pretty decent potential on YouTube, so like I just want to keep on going and really see where I can push myself. It all really goes back to like Kobe Bryant and saying being the best you can be, and that's what I'm trying to do, and I want to see how far I can take that. And then editing videos is just all trial and error. That's all it is. If you want to experiment, and also it includes a little creativity, putting your own style into videos, and then getting some inspiration from others, it's just all trial and error.
No, that's for sure a thing. I honestly, when I first started, I kind of just learned the basics because I'm older than you for sure. And I was doing some other stuff, like I was working. I didn't really have time. So I just knew I wanted to make videos, and I just found the easiest way to do it. And I was like, all right, this is my style. I'm not going above and beyond. And that was it. So I feel like we all have different aspects of how we want to edit. We all take from other people, and we end up making a final product that represents us and how we want to entertain our fan base. So I respect you for what you do, and I respect all the other people for how much effort. Like, I'm not gonna say I put less effort, but you put it in a different style. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, that's what some people misunderstand. Just because I might put in more edits, or just let's just say A and B, right? Say person A puts in more edits in a video than person B. That doesn't directly mean they put in more effort into their video than person B. And it all comes down, like you said, to different styles. So it's just how you want to style your video. Not everybody wants to do an edit here and then what's it called, a turn down song here. Some people want it more chill. So it all depends how you want to do your videos.
No, for sure. So I want to understand how long like a normal video would take you, just for me, or a normal person that doesn't.
Yeah, no, I'm not gonna lie. For like a normal person that hasn't edited, like one of my videos would take like a shit long of hours, because like if you haven't edited, like, or like barely edited, you're not gonna like have like the same kind of speed. But like working with like top creators, like coming up, editing for a lot of people, like I had to get their videos back fast because I didn't want get my videos up super late either, right? So the whole thing of like, I'm just trying to edit as fast as possible to be as efficient as possible at the same time, though. Like, edit as fast as possible, but at the same time, still put in the same amount of work I would do as if I was going like a normal type speed, or like slower, I guess, if I was a beginner, right? So it takes, I'm not gonna lie, my videos now, they don't take super long to edit. They take about like 2 hours. It's nothing crazy because I've kind of just like you probably do too. I master my style. I know what I'm gonna do, and then I go in and like I don't really have a lot of distractions, so I go in, get it done, post a video.
That's awesome, man. How do you? I actually wanted to ask you this myself. This is a personal question. How do you stay not distracted? Because like me, I actually get distracted easily. Like I want to hop back on the game, or I want to stay on Twitter for a little bit, or I want to watch a YouTube video. How do you stay not distracted in that time frame? Like what's your?
Okay. I will say to your first point, I'm not gonna lie. Like I said many times, I like Next Gen MyTeam a lot. But when I hop off the game, I usually don't have a desire to hop back on the game. But you did mention Twitter. Twitter is the devil when it comes to distractions, bro. Because, bro, you get into one conversation on Twitter, that can lead to like 30, 40 minutes sometimes. So, honestly, I don't have my phone off, but I just try to leave my phone like face down a lot of times, ring her off. As you know, too, Twitter can be very distracting. YouTube is the same way. I just try to not honestly click on a video, as simple as that sounds. I just really try not to, and just try to focus in, because like a lot of the times too, I just put in my head like, yo, I don't want to be sitting here later than I have to, so let's get this done.
Nah, for sure, I'm with you with that. So anything you do after you're done, like after you're done editing for the day, or you like besides working out, is there anything?
Honestly, it all depends, right? Like it depends, like if I'm gonna like hang out with people. It's just like normal people stuff, to be honest. Like it's nothing crazy. Like yeah, you said like working out, or like maybe hanging out with somebody, or maybe going to a ball with my brother. It's usually nothing too crazy, to be honest. Or maybe stream in the night. Depends on the day.
Yeah, no, I get you. Favorite foods? I know this stuff like we didn't expect to talk about, but I like to know about Denver, man.
Okay, people probably gonna roast me because, like I said, I don't like a lot of meat. So my favorite foods are vegetarian chili. Have you had that?
No, I have not.
You gotta try it, man. It's fire. It's fire. Vegetarian chili, rice and peas. I love rice and peas. I don't know, simple. I love rice and peas. Salad, but you don't do like Caesar in it or anything anymore because you're obviously trying to eat healthy and stuff, so you don't put that stuff in it. And then I'm not gonna lie, like I do love tacos, but I try not to eat those too much. And then I do love noodles. Noodles was always my favorite growing up, but I don't really eat that anymore.
That's what's up. That's what's up. So when you're trying to cheat, if you're trying to have a cheat day, is there like a dessert you go to?
I'm not gonna lie, I stay away from desserts, man. They're like the devil. Same with that. I don't know about you, but I've completely stopped drinking pop like 2 years ago because like pop is also like that too. If I'm having like a cheat meal, it's honestly just like kind of like I said, a basic meal. Like if I'm having a cheat meal, I have like noodles, whatever, noodles with sauce, and I have a lot of carbs basically. Those are like more of my cheat meals.
Nah, I get you. So me personally, well, for anyone that doesn't know, pop is soda. I haven't drank soda in probably like my whole life. I have had like soda 3 times maybe ever. So someone asked, would you ever dye your hair? And if so, what color?
Hey, as a kid, to be honest, I always thought that was like super weird. Like when somebody dyed their hair like blue, I was like, bro, what are you doing, man? Like that is so weird. We're in a different place now, obviously, right? The world is a completely different place from 2010. Now, I mean, if you want to dye your hair, whatever, I can never see myself dyeing my hair. Because me, myself, I'm not like, I'm just as clear as day. I'm not like the greatest looking guy on the planet. I'm not no Chris Evans. So I'm not going to go dye my hair blue on top of that. You feel me? So I will just always keep my hair blonde.
Nah, man, you're a good looking dude. Don't put yourself like that. But me, if that question was directed towards me, I don't even have hair. So let's just not even talk about it.
Chill.
But,
We're coming back. Chill.
It is it. Can we see Isaiah, man? That's what we're here for, man. A lot of people turn on the stream just for Isaiah.
What's good, Mos?
What's up, Isaiah? I can't have a Denver video without Isaiah on it. Like, it doesn't make sense, you know?
I feel. How you doing?
I'm good, man. How you doing?
I'm chilling, you know what I'm saying? It's a pleasure to be on here.
Yo, pleasure likewise, man. I remember, so back in the day, probably it's been like 2-3 years, you were streaming on Fortnite. We used to have a party in your streams. You remember those days?
Yeah, bro, you used to raid me shit. That was good, bro. I like that.
Yeah, good times, man. How is it being Denver's brother? Like, can you tell us a little bit more about that?
Honestly, for me, like it's nothing special, but like it's obviously sometimes like funny when people like will come into my stream or my like Twitch stream or something and be like, yo, are you Denver's brother? And then be like, oh my god, it was good to his shit. And then like they'll be like, put him on the mic, and I'm like, oh my god. So like definitely sometimes can be annoying. At the same time, like he's only gonna keep getting bigger, so like I just gotta get used to it. For sure.
Like your friends at school and stuff probably like know Denver, right? Like they.
Yeah, no, they do.
Sure.
Yeah, there's some people there was actually one kid at my high school. He came up to me. I don't even know who he is. He came up to me and he's like, yo, you DenverStrucks brother? I'm like, bro, yeah, bro, what's up? He's like, yo, I watched your brother's video. I was like, what the fuck? Like, I'm like, bro, why? Like, I wouldn't think ever that like I have like there's like a DenverStruck fan at my school. Like that was the most like funny moment, bro.
Nah, man, you don't know how big your brother is. So I meet DenverStruck fans all the time. Like sometimes I'll be somewhere and someone will tell me like, yo, can you tell Denver that I said what's up? And I'll be like, yeah, I got you. So it is what it is. Like you said, he's only gonna get bigger. I love all your intros with him, man. We played one earlier. And like you're a star on his show, so definitely live up to it and become your own person, man. I know he's next to you, so it's weird talking about him, but man, I'm glad to see who you're becoming. I feel like I've been watching you forever, and
yeah, bro. It's saying likewise, bro. It's like, dude, you like freaking, you know what I'm saying, back like 3 years ago, bro. It's kind of crazy to think, cause like 3 years ago when I was showing on Twitch, and then you know what I'm saying, you met Denver. And then, like, as I say, you used to raid me and shit, and it was just funny and shit, because, like, I used to look back on that, and then, like, now sometimes I, like, get that viewers, you know what I'm saying? Like, cause when you raided me, you used to, like, raid me with, like, 20 people, and now in my, like, YouTube streams, I get, like, 20 people and shit, so it's, like...
That's awesome.
It's cool to look up to.
So I said earlier that we had a viewer goal, and I'm going to come up there and beat your brother in basketball, right? That's what I said. So I'm going to see you when I come up there. That's cool?
Bet, bro. That's a bet. Because I've always wanted to meet you. When Denver met you, he was like, yeah, like, most really chill guy. You know what I'm saying? Like, it was funny meeting him and shit. And yeah, no, it would just be really like cool to meet you and shit. Cause like I don't know, you're just most like when me and they were talking about you, like it's just like cause sometimes we just talk about YouTube shit. It's just like it's just most, man. Like you know what I'm saying? Like that it's just like that, bro. But you know that'll be sick.
That's love, man. All right, so I'm gonna see you soon. Thank you for coming, man. We appreciate you. Take care, boys.
I appreciate it, bro. Peace out.
Yeah, man. I really couldn't do a video without Isaiah. I just felt like he had to be a part of it, you know.
How was it, by the way?
Nah, it was cool, man. I was trying to talk about you, but I knew he felt uncomfortable talking about you while you were next to him, so it didn't really work out that way.
Yeah, I mean, if I was the right person, to be honest, he'd probably just be roasting me. He loves to roast me.
No, but that's awesome, man. So I don't have a brother. I always wanted one, and I feel like if I did, he'd like I always tell my mom, I'm like, yo, he would love to do the same things as me. He'd love basketball. He'd love YouTube and all this, and she's like, nah, how would you know? I'm like, it just has to happen that way.
It just happens, man. I'm telling you, man. They look up to you. Like I mean, I only have one brother, but like this kid, like I don't say it all the time, obviously, but like he clearly looks up to me all the time. So like if you had one, I'm sure the same thing would happen with you.
Nah, that's awesome, man. I hope you feel how lucky you are, because a lot of people might not have that. I know you guys fight, I'm sure, but
all the time. But nah, growing up, man. I mean, I can't lie. So I talk about all the time, like on stream, off stream, whatever. But like growing up, like training him, it was kind of like a weird example. It was almost in a way like he was like my son or something, man. Like growing up, training him, and then watching him play, like using those moves in the game, like it was like a different kind. You can't even really put into words how like cool it is.
Nah, for sure. Got another question coming in right here. Are you? This is kind of if you want to talk about, I'm sure you guys are. I'm sure you guys are still cool. There's no bad blood anywhere, right?
No, none at all.
No, definitely.
Oh, okay. Well, I thought you were gonna like fully ask it, but no. Me and Matt, I've explained this a couple times on stream, but me and Matt, like I have a really close relationship with that guy because I worked with him for like 3 years. So like I don't say this about a lot of people, but like honestly, I consider that guy like a brother to me. Like the amount of times he's just tried to help me, not including like, oh, I need a video, like just try to help as a friend. The guy is super nice. You put in the work, you get that kind of energy back, right? Like if you put in, like if you go edit a shitty video for him, he's probably not gonna treat you nice. Like that's like anything, right? Like not treat you nice, but like probably not be I don't know, like the best version of himself around you, right? So I was always just trying to put in a lot of work because that's what I would expect. Like I put working with anybody in that kind of sense. Like I don't want to give them a trash product. Like imagine them in your shoes then, right? Like you pay them money, you're waiting for it, and then you're getting a trash product back. So I just try to put that stuff in my head. I was trying to do that every single day for Matt, and over the years we just became really good like actual friends. So I still have yet to meet him. I was supposed to meet him one time. It fell through, but nah, me and Matt, I love that guy.
Nah, I believe it. So you actually edited a video for me one time. I don't know. You probably remember. I'm sure you remember.
I do.
Yeah, and I don't even think I paid you for that, to be honest. So I kind of owe you money for sure. We'll figure that out when I see you, man.
That's a friend thing, man. I just got you, man. It's on the house.
Yeah, man. I remember it well because I had to go somewhere and I really wanted this video out. And I was like, bro, there's no one that edits better than you. And I was like, I'll just let him make it short, sweet, to the point, and just like a little extra because I can't do that. And then you went above and beyond for me. And I appreciate you for that, for real.
It was, I think it was a lineup update, right?
Yeah, it was.
Something like that. Was it in 2K20 or 2K19? What year was it?
I want to say 19. I do, but it could have been last year, to be honest. Time's so weird nowadays because of like this whole pandemic. I feel like we're just been home for so long. I don't know what date it is anymore. It's just,
I mean, to be honest, like with YouTube, I sometimes throughout the week I don't even know what day it is because like YouTube days, it really doesn't matter unless for 2K, like it's like a Tuesday or Friday. Like all the other days are like the same pretty much. Exactly. So I don't really pay attention to like the actual days like that much. But speaking about the pandemic, bro, I mean, much like other people, I can't stand it, bro. Everything's closed down. The gyms are closed. This, down, the third. I'm all for wearing masks because you got to protect other people. But I would be lying if I said it wasn't annoying to always wear it out. Got to wait in lines. Like I can't wait for it to be over.
Nah, for sure. So you guys actually closed way. I feel like you fully locked down, like compared to most places, especially here in the States. Like, talk to us about that a little bit.
I mean, yeah, no. I mean, clearly Canada was, on it a little bit more than the States because I'm not like a political person at all, but clearly like Donald Trump wasn't all for locking stuff down all the time, right? So In Canada, it was a different story. We locked down stuff very early. Depending on what place you're in, it could have been like a gray lockdown. So like that means like there's no going like anywhere casually pretty much. It sucked a lot. Luckily, I'm in the Niagara region, so I'm close to the falls. For a lot of the time, it was like a yellow type level. So like you could go out, wear a mask, but you could pretty much do everything else normally. So where I was very lucky because a lot of other places, it was like red, orange, and I'm telling you, man, I have friends in that area. Like, it sucks. You can barely do anything. My two sisters are in Toronto. Toronto's basically like a city in the U.S. at that point. Like with the way they act about COVID, it is. They've been in lockdown forever. It is. I'm telling you, man, I cannot wait for this to be over.
No, for sure. I feel like if we, the thing, because I see it from another place, right? Because I see it from like the States. Like if people just listened, we could have already been out of here. And it just sucks that not everyone is, and not everyone but just hopefully we get through this. It's almost there. It's been already a year. It's hard to say. It's like crazy to think about. I thought it was gonna be like a 1 month, 2 month thing, and then we all back to normal.
I didn't even think it was gonna be a thing like this. Like I'll be honest, bro. When I was hearing about COVID before even any rules were implemented, I'm like, bro, it's nothing, man. Like, get out of here with that. Nope. Shut down. I mean, obviously, it has serious effects too. So, like, it warrants it. What you were talking about too, like, you would in a perfect world, yes, you would love to just lock everybody down, and then you would be done with it in like 2 to 3 to 4 months rather than like 1 to 2 to 3 years. But honestly, I know, everybody knows. There's gonna be dudes out there that don't listen to that. They don't care. Go to parties.
For sure.
So it just makes the process take a while longer. Well, you want to go out to a party, you realize you're just delaying the process even more.
No, that's a fact. And bro, people are just so funny with it. A lot of people don't even acknowledge it or say like there's nothing going on, or like they don't care about other people. And I'm like, you're doing it the wrong way, man. You gotta care. Like, why are we here if we don't care about others? And I'm just glad we're in a place that a lot of us, we can speak up our minds and tell people just to be safe, because we're almost there. I feel like we are, but I don't know. Like, let me know if you think we're actually going to ever be back to normal, because I feel like this is just going to be one of those things where moving forward in the future, maybe stores are going to number the amount of people in there. Maybe we're going to get away from masks, hopefully, and all that. But I feel like movie theaters aren't going to be the same, or like sporting events, you're not going to have a full house or anymore, like 20, 30,000 people there. I feel like it might just be like they limit things to a certain degree.
Okay, well, funny part about the last sentence you mentioned, Texas, or that whole, like, it's all open now, isn't it? Like, everything's completely open. That's crazy.
No masks too.
Yeah, that's like no mask. That's insane. And then I saw a tweet like their sports arena, like you can do full capacity. Like, that is I don't know how that's even allowed. That's insane. But will we ever get back to normal? Obviously, that's the biggest question. I do think we will. A lot of people are predicting by 2023 we'll get back to a normal, quote unquote, lifestyle. I do think we will. I by that time, vaccinations will be like a normal thing, whether you take it or not. You'll be able to get it pretty much whenever you want for the most part. So I do think we will get back to normal in due time. But this whole next year, depending on where you live, obviously, but it's still going to be like this. A year, 2 years down the road, it's still going to be like this. It sucks, but it is what it is. And, to be honest, about the whole COVID stuff, like, don't get me wrong, I can see how it's annoying for some people, obviously, because everybody finds it annoying. Nobody wants to sit in their house, wear masks. But it does. I would be lying if I said I don't get pissed off with some of the people, like you mentioned earlier, that don't wear masks. They don't take it serious. It's like, bro, just don't be dumb. You're putting other people's lives in jeopardy. Come on, man. Just follow the rules.
For sure. So this all started, like we said, about a year ago. Exactly, I think. Like, that's when the whole Rudy Gobert touching the mics and then shut down the NBA and then shut down this and shut down that.
I was just saying, like, the infamous, like, touching the mic.
Yeah.
It exploded everything.
For sure. So, well, we can backtrack maybe 2 months before that. And you lost one of your favorite players, one of your inspirations, one of your idols, in Kobe. I remember you made 2 videos on that. One of those mixes were beautiful, man, a beautiful mix. And then your heartfelt one was great too. Can you go through that? Because me, like, maybe I wasn't a huge Kobe fan. I'll go first. I wasn't a huge Kobe fan growing up, but my dad was. That was like his favorite player. And then, so I remember seeing it from his eyes. And then as I grew up, I started to like just understanding it more. Like maybe I was a hater then because he beat my Nets in the finals, but as I grew up and started seeing it more, I was like, man, this guy, like, he's not just a basketball player. Like, yeah, he's skilled, he can do everything, and that's probably why I hated him a little bit then. But now I'm like, yo, he's a great person, he's a great father, he's a great role model. Like, he's writing books, he's doing this and that, and it's just like he's doing so much for the society. So it hit me hard too. And like, you being like a huge fan, like I can't even imagine what you went through, because I was crying for weeks, maybe even months. Like sometimes I still tear up thinking about it. Like, so shoot.
Yeah, not to get like, you know, super personal in it, because like Kobe for me has like a lot of like personal like relations, and the way I looked up to him, like it was a lot about my personal life too. But like losing Kobe, like that was like the guy like I always looked up to as a kid, like for everything, like work, school, whatever, like just the whole motivation factors. Always looked up to him. I mean, obviously everybody says it, but like I legitimately thought as a kid I was always his biggest fan. Like I would always do a thing as a kid. Like I would go up to the TV with my sisters and be like, "Hey, look, it's front row seats," because like we're sitting right in front of the TV, watch Kobe every single night. So I'm not gonna lie, losing Kobe, man, like that hurt like a lot. Personally, and then obviously for everybody else too, his family and the other people that lost their lives too, obviously rest in peace. But just specifically Kobe, like that hurt a lot. As you were mentioning before, dude, I was like stuck in my room for like 8 hours when I heard that news. Like I couldn't believe it, bro. It was honestly, I'm not gonna lie, like it was just a terrible time. Like that like month specifically, that straight month was a terrible part of my life. I hated it.
No, for sure. I just feel like it was just, it's one of those things that caught you so off guard. And you think like, when you think of Kobe, you think he's like, there's nothing that could possibly go wrong. Like I thought he was immortal at some point. Like we all say it, but no, seriously, like you think he's the healthiest person ever and his life is great and there's literally nothing that could go wrong. And it was just, it wakes you up and it tells you that we need to live our lives like with that Mamba mentality. We need to live it to the fullest, and we never know. And I'm sorry we made the podcast like kind of go negative, but it's just, we're here to learn. And I hope you guys, whoever's listening to this that needs to hear this, like get up and do what you got to do. Put in the time, put in the work, put in the effort, and look out for your loved ones, all that. If you have anything to say to that, go for it.
Yeah, no, it's what I was saying earlier, and like I seriously think it's like one of like the best quotes of all time, or like memorable quotes that he always used to say. Like honestly, like be the best you can be. Like don't like too many people, you see it all the time, like focus on other people's grinds, whatever it may be. Like seriously, if you take a lot of that energy and focus it into being the best you will see insane results. Like it's crazy. And just bringing that work ethic every single day, knowing when it's those shitty days, you got to keep going, persevering. It's taking that. And then you push yourself, and then you also said another thing. It's not about like the end of the road; it's the journey getting there. So the whole journey getting there, when you're grinding, that's the actual end game in itself. The whole part you're grinding up to like that top milestone you want to reach, whatever that may be.
For sure. It's you could go to like other people who talk about Kobe, and it's the whole like maybe a lyric I'll throw out there, like you weren't with me shooting in the gym. Like we don't know what he actually goes through, and that's the thing. Like we all do things behind the scenes that you guys can't see, whether it's the amount of hours that Denver puts in a video, or the amount of like the times that he couldn't go out because he wanted to make sure he drops a banger for you guys. So like all that stuff, just you make those sacrifices.
Likewise,
right? They gotta do.
You can definitely relate to this, bro. Like so many times,
For
like bro, there's so many options that pop up, like probably weekly, like all the time still now. Like you could be doing this or that. Your family hits you up, your friend hits you up, whatever. Hey, can we do this? And you know you want to, but you can't, because you gotta put in the groundwork. You gotta keep going.
Yep, those videos are so important for you guys. Like we know it. We try to provide that content for you guys, entertain you guys, especially during this time. I feel like this whole pandemic, it really zoned me into like a whole different mentality, and I'm sure you could relate to this. Like I've been like that time period, especially when it first started, I was making videos on videos. Like I was just putting so much effort in content, not just because I was staying home, but because I felt like so many people were, and they were depending on me. Like all those tweets that people send out or the comments, like they need us. And I know it sounds like that, but
it's not cringy. It's actual facts, and it goes with like any creator, like big, small, whatever. Like if you have a fan base, like they're gonna, and if you post consistently, because as we said many times, that's like the main thing, consistency. You post consistently, people are expecting a video every single day, and like you gotta live up to that one way or another, and just try and just excluding all the distractions that come your way.
Not for sure. Smoke said 2 goats in the same room.
Yes,
it's gonna be fun to see.
And like I said, we met up for your life, man. We should have 1v1'd or something, but that will come. That will come with the 7.5K views. That will come.
Yep. I'll say we can make it happen soon. As long as they do it, I'll be up there. I'll make sure to happen. We can do it 2-on-2 though. We can get your brother. I'll bring somebody along. We'll figure it out. We'll do a lot of things.
Yeah, I got a bunch of nets we could play on here, like some really nice nets. Hey man, we set it up, man. We can make a couple bangers, like in real life too, off the game and on the game.
For sure. We actually haven't made a video together in some time. Maybe we could set something up.
I'm gonna be honest, bro. Have we done a video together? Like 2K? Have we? Other than
Maybe
like
not.
the MT classes, like that, but that's not like that's like a tournament thing, you know? Like not actual. No. We gotta do a collab sooner or later, bro.
All right, man. You guys can let us know what you guys want to see. Pack-in plays, you want to see search and discard, whatever you guys throw out there, we'll make it happen for sure. I appreciate you, Denver. Thank you so much for your time. Is there actually somebody asked me a question? I remember it off the top of my head. They asked if there any secret talents that you have that we don't know anything about. So I'll go ahead and say first before you answer that. Is there like actually go ahead first and then I'll ask.
Okay, well I'm not gonna say like secret talents or anything because it's not really like secret, but what's it called? I said it a couple times on the stream, and like I'm dead serious when I talk about it. Like my actual like shooting the basketball, like I'm very good at it. Like I feel like not a lot of people like actually take that serious. I'm not supposed to say I'm like the best shooter ever or something, but like I'm like a pretty damn good shooter, you know? Like I've won many times the best shooter in Canada, the best 3-point shooter. So like I guess secret talent that not many people might know about. That's the one. That's the one.
Okay, that's a good one, man. All right, so if you weren't doing YouTube, what do you see yourself doing?
Okay, well, you might not see it. Okay, I'll ask you a question. If I went to college, what do you think I would go to college for?
I mean, but that's the thing. So you'd probably already be editing. Like you'd love the whole video aspect, right? So you'd be into something with media. Yeah. You'd be into all that. I don't know if I could see you doing anything else personally. That's why I need to know what you like. So
yeah, no, I love coaching. I mean, I'm really good with kids. So like that's why I was going into school for teaching. Because like I said, I just love working with kids. So that whole factor, I want to start actually coaching once this whole COVID slows down a little bit. So that's the kind of the route I was going to. And I was taking that in university, and I actually enjoyed that a lot. But then I stopped it to try to focus more on YouTube.
No, for sure. I remember now looking back, and especially I'm sure it helps that you have a younger brother, a younger sister, like that. Sure. That whole plays like a hand in that. That's why I like coaching so much, because like I feel like my 2 sisters and all that. You have all right. So Jordan said, do you have any big things coming up in the future that you want to maybe tell us about right here?
Not strictly YouTube wise, and this was supposed to happen last year, but like now it's gonna happen in the future. I was supposed to I think you probably know, I was supposed to go see Luka courtside and go to New York to watch him versus Cal. I was supposed to do that, but then I was also supposed to go to Japan in August, so I don't know when that's gonna happen, but your boy's gonna travel to Japan sometime in the near future.
That's awesome, man. That's awesome. Is there anything like you're really looking forward to out there? Like, you have already a mindset of things you want to see or do, or?
Well, I mean, other than like just killing like the goals in my head that like I want to reach, because like I want to reach a certain number of like subscribers like every month, right? Like that, like I set out to reach. Like that's a realistic goal. Like that would just be every single time, because like the nearest one that would be in a relation to my YouTube is hitting 100K subscribers. That's in the near future, and I have a plan. You know, doing like I'm not sure all the plans yet, but I want to have 2 of my friends over that I show my YouTube channel to when I have 300 subscribers. I want to do like a drunk stream with them, and like it'd be fire when I hit 100K. So,
that's awesome, man. I think that's one of those things that when you think about, that's what you've been working for, right? This is your career, This is your path, and you've put in the hours, the sleepless nights, the waking up early, all that, just for that 100K. Like I get, be honest, like I get emotional just thinking about that number sometimes. Like I'm just like, bro, when that plaque comes in the mail or whatever.
Dude, it's a milestone, man. Like, no, I'm serious. I've talked to my brother, bro. Like, dude, people like legitimately look at you like differently. Like, if you say you have like 70K on YouTube, it's like, oh, that's cool. But you say you have like 100K, it's like, damn, you know what I mean?
Nice.
It's just like a different level. And then you get the plaque on top of that to like certify, oh, this is the work you put in. And like actual YouTube itself sent you a plaque. Like, that's amazing.
For sure, for sure. And then you're gonna have a whole check mark next to your name, so whenever you go into a stream, they know that's the DenverStruck. Like, there's no faking it, nothing. That's like amazing. And you know you're gonna be there anytime soon. Your links are down below. If you guys don't know who DenverStruck is, you should have. But if you don't till this point, please make sure you go check him out. He deserves all of that and then some. And I appreciate you being here, man. I took up too much of your time, so go work out, and I'm gonna have you back when I'm done with Legs. All right, I'm gonna talk to Legs, and I'll have you guys both on. All right.
I appreciate coming on, man. Like I said, I love the setup, and it was fun. It was fun.
That was great, learning a little bit more about the Canadian Denver, getting to know him a little bit better. But now it's time for our next guest. Our next guest is very, very special. He means a lot to us, and he honestly proclaims himself as the best shooter out here in the world. He thinks that's his job, that's his label. This is a little old video, and before he retired from the game. So we're gonna discuss all that, obviously, but this is our first ever Division I athlete. Legs, how you doing, man? Can I get you on the screen? Let's get it, bro.
What's up, Mos? How's it going, man? Thank you so much for having me on. You used an old video, man. What is like?
Yo, that's the video you said you were the greatest shooter out here, so I had to put it on.
I'm not even gonna lie. For anybody who doesn't know me, I haven't played basketball in years. I mean, I played a little bit of rec, but like, come on. I'm not a basketball player, let's be honest.
I know, man. We got your tennis clips and all that. I didn't want to go ahead and tell people you play tennis. Maybe they don't want to watch it, you know?
Yeah, I mean, seriously, man. They misunderstand the sport, bro. I mean, it's understandable because it's not really like it's not an American sport. It's more of it's very big in Europe, very big worldwide, but it's not huge in the States. So I kind of want to educate the 2K community a little bit on tennis a little bit here.
Well, that's why we got you here, honestly, because obviously me and you kind of went at it on Twitter. I hope you know that it was all love. I didn't really mean it. I wanted to get you involved, and this is the perfect time because I wanted to get you on this show. So for anyone that doesn't know, we'll just briefly summarize that, right? What happened was, actually, let's skip all that. First of all, we just talked about Europe. You brought it up. So can we start, where is your family from? Because you're not from here.
Yeah. So my parents or my dad's side of my family, they're from Israel. So it was actually my first language, Hebrew, and I grew up there for like the first 3 or 4 years of my life. And I was born in Miami, but then we moved over into Israel when I was really young, and I stayed over there with my family for a while. Obviously, I haven't really been able to go back in a little bit because of Corona, unfortunately, but. That's where I grew up. If I was ever to, go professional as a tennis player, if that was ever an option, I would most likely, support and my nationality would be Israel. I'd probably play for them. So, yeah. I mean, I guess people don't really know about that. So, yeah, I'm not from around here now. Technically,
that's awesome, man. Technically, but you live in New York. I'll let you get back to that in a second. But yeah, no, that's the best part. So we're here to not just educate people, but get to know you more. Because obviously, I'm not gonna say not that many people know about you, but we want to know more about you. That's really what it is. Like maybe stuff I don't know. So this is the point of the podcast, and I'm really glad about it. We're gonna get to talk about Israel a little bit more. I know there's a lot of people that support us. When we did our last live stream last week, that said they were from Israel. So that's awesome, man.
I didn't even know that. There's a lot because Israelis, they love basketball, man. They love basketball, bro. Like you see there's a lot of teams out here in New York. I know for a fact because there's a lot of Hasidic Jews out in New York. They're all out here with their yarmulkes on playing basketball in the rec league. So yeah, no, there's a lot out there. I think that support Israel that play 2K and who love basketball. So
no, it's a fact. So yeah, no, it really is, and it's great because
especially in New York. I'm sure you see it, especially because you're from Long Island, right? So you probably see that.
Staten, but yeah, no, we still have a big. Yeah, man, it's cool. So we'll go back. So you said you moved here when you were probably like 4 or 5 years old, right? 4, you said?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
4 years old. So how was it growing up in New York? Like as a Jew, we know there's a lot of talk right now because I don't know if you've seen that Myers Leonard clip that went on. So now there's a lot of talk about. Yeah, go ahead. I want to hear your thoughts.
My thoughts on the situation, personally, like I've actually never really heard the word that he used. Obviously it was wrong, and like obviously like and we're seeing it a lot now. Obviously you see like the real person now due to a lot of people are on the internet now. A lot of people are streaming on Twitch, and now like people are. Can I curse on this, or a lot of
Go
people
for it,
are fucking up, like, and you see it on Twitch, live on Twitch, because like now you're really seeing like how that person is, because there aren't cameras editing whatever they're saying. Now you're really hearing that person. And you could tell, like you can obviously tell he said it in a fucking in an anti-Semitic way, and he even paused. I think before I got to watch the clip like one time. He like paused for like 3 seconds and said it. I was like, come on, man. I mean, you should know better, you know. It's you're an NBA player. You're 29 years old. It shouldn't at one point do we have to just at one point when you're an adult do we have to take it like responsibility for what you say.
For sure. Yeah, that was my fault. My fault. I didn't introduce it, so I didn't really explain what was happening. So for anyone that didn't see what happened with Myers Leonard, let me just briefly say it. He was streaming. He's been streaming a lot lately, especially that he's injured. So like he's been playing with professional gamers all over the place, including FaZe and stuff. And he came out there and basically put out a slur, and very anti-Semitic, and it just wasn't. Like you said, you can't edit that. And it shows who you are.
And it shows, especially all these, like, if you see like celebrities now streaming, a lot of them are trying out streaming. I don't think they're used to that. Like, okay, like you're live to thousands of people now. You can't. You have to watch what you say. Like, you really have to watch what you say, especially on Twitch. On Twitch, with people getting banned so much recently. And yeah, I mean, we'll see whatever comes to him. I don't know. He has a pretty big contract for the Heat, right? Yep, so I don't know. After his injury, a lot of people are talking about they don't even know if teams are going to go out of their way to even go and pick him up. From what I heard, so I don't know.
It's a big deal.
Whatever is coming, he deserves. I mean, he's old enough to take responsibility, and it was obvious. It wasn't like just like a slip up. It was like really like, come on, man.
Yeah, his apology, he went like, oh, I didn't know what I was saying. I don't know the real meaning behind it. But then there's another thing where I actually follow Myers Leonard. Like, I was a fan, and I'm not going to, like, but now it's just like your wife is, from what I'm hearing, she is from Jewish heritage, like her family and all that. So he should know way better. The fact that word is in his vocabulary says a lot. Like,
It's a similar thing to the Papa John's incident. The same thing. The guy literally came out and said, "I'm trying not to say the N-word. Like, I'm trying to get it out of my vocab. I've been waiting 20 months." It's just a lot of times these are how these people grow up. They grow up around their family who might be saying these racial slurs, and they may grow up in environments where there's not a lot of Jewish people around, and there's not like a huge because let's be real, the population of Jewish people is very, very small compared to the rest of the world, and there's just a lot of communities that people grow up with when they don't get that proper, like, oh, I have like a Jewish friend, I shouldn't be saying this word. So a lot of them, that's just how they grow up, and it's the same thing with if somebody like the Papa John's guy, if he's growing up in a household that's completely racist and saying the N-word after every sentence, it's gonna get into their vocab. But it's like, you should know better, And if you don't know what it means, just don't even say it. Like, if I don't know what a word means, if somebody tells me some bad word, like I've never heard that word, but if I ever got told it, and somebody was like, hey, like, maybe it's not a word that you should be, it's, I don't know. It just seemed obvious. He took a second in between. It's not like it was just like, I don't know. The second in between kind of got it for me. It's like, all right, you should have known by now.
Yeah, no, that's my thing too. It's especially like you said, if you don't know a word in general, like you learn this from a young age. Like, obviously you should do your homework on any word. You should know what you're saying. There's no way you should be an adult and just say a word that you have no idea what it means. But let's get off that subject. I like what you said. Yeah. I like what we were talking about. But now I want to go into your life more a little bit. So we see that people are saying, this was actually a recent tweet. Someone just said this, and he said something about Kendrick Perkins, which is funny. But so we're going to go straight into tennis. We're going straight into tennis because that's what we have you here for. All
right, so I tell the same thing to people who don't know about tennis basically every single time. A lot of people don't know that first of all, it's a long match. There are breaks, but they're very small. There's like 30 to a minute long breaks. And a lot of times, especially at like a junior level, you're playing with no ref, so the kids are going to be making their own calls, and a lot of times you're going to find a lot of people cheating, and there's a lot of cheating in the sport, and it's tough. And also, there's no coach to help you down or calm you down. So if you're dealing with a sport that's so mental and it's just you and the other player, first of all, that's already taking out tons of mental energy from you, and which is why a lot of times I consider it one of the toughest sports to cope with mentally. Once you get to a certain level, tennis is all about inches. Like you could lose by 1 point, and that 1 point, you could lose that 1 point, and boom, you're losing the rest of the match. And it makes it really tough when it's just you on the court. That's it. And you have to dig deep, like hard. Like I don't think any other sport is like that. Especially if you're having a bad day, the rest of the team is you're having a bad. Like if you're having a bad day, there's no team to pick you up. And I think that especially even just like the fact that, mentally it's a tough sport to especially just to get into. And like there have been so many moments in my life where, because like I wasn't as good skill wise, and I was never the type of kid to cheat other players, and I would get cheated during tournaments. It was like heartbreaking, you know. And you walk out of that match like genuinely wanting to quit, which is why I think it's so hard to get to that top level of tennis. And I mean, obviously, if you're somebody like Kendrick Perkins, it's obviously gonna be different experience, especially since in tennis, really only the top 50 is making like good money off it, and Kendrick Perkins is basically getting paid millions of dollars to sit on the bench, so it is obviously a little different, I guess.
Yeah, not for sure. What age were you when you first started? Like when you picked up your racket for the first time?
Yeah, I started playing tennis at probably 8 years old. I think competitively, I started training when I was like 10. So, and honestly, that's like late. A lot of the top players in the country are starting at like 5, and they're like literally becoming homeschooled and like dedicating their whole life to the sport. So it's like it's tough. Like it's tough to get super good at this sport.
No, you're right. It's one of those things now, especially like in this day and age where sports is a big thing to get you into college. I know you can see that, but so a lot of parents are dedicating their kids into sports from a young age.
Yeah.
And tennis is one of those hard sports for sure. I'm not saying anything about that. We're looking at it where most people don't look at tennis. Most of them are going towards basketball or trying to go for football, and you can't stand out in those sports, right? So that's why lately in the past couple of years, we've seen a lot of people going towards lacrosse or finding different sports and just trying to get through. So tennis, if you can get a kid in there when they're young and really train them and they really like it, I think that's the biggest thing, right? You have to be passionate about the sport. You can't really just do it.
So I think an interesting point to bring up about tennis, and something that I've always kind of wanted to, like I've done like little practices because tennis is a tough sport if you're like, as far as like money goes, like trying to get like the best coaches and stuff, it's expensive. And that's the problem. A lot of times you're not seeing like top athletes play tennis, because tennis is at the end of the day, it's not as accessible to everybody, which sucks. And I've done like little clinics, for community service to kind of like get like underprivileged kids to go and play tennis and hit. And I think it's a sport that should be accessible to anybody. There's no reason why it should cost so much more to play tennis than play like soccer or play basketball. In my opinion. And I think that's where you see a lot of kids who maybe could be unbelievable tennis players, but their parents might not just not have the money to fund, the tournaments and the driving every 2 hours every weekend on Fridays and those practices and those private coaches. So a lot of times it's not a super accessible sport, which I think I think it's more accessible in Europe and Asia, but not as much in the States for sure.
No, for sure. I agree with you. Like everywhere you go here, you'll find a basketball court. You'll find
even it's like, yeah, for sure. It's like it's a country club thing too. Like people who play tennis, you're gonna come from this country club. Like, so yeah. I want it to be a sport, and a lot of times it's beautiful when you see somebody like Serena Williams coming from Compton. I think she's from Compton. I could be wrong. See her come out and be like one of probably the greatest tennis player of all time as far as awards wise. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's
So
interesting.
we'll go back. We'll go back to the original tweet that happened. So this whole situation started. Michael Thompson, Klay Thompson's dad, he tweeted like he mentioned Serena Williams as number one. He was like, yo, she's really 39 and she's doing this. She's like the greatest ever. And then he was like, so between her, Brady, who's 43, Tom Brady, and LeBron James, who's 36, he said, who is the greatest athlete at their age? So I went out there and I was like, it was real late in the morning. It was like 2 a.m. or something. So I was like, I think, in my opinion, I said, no disrespect to any of them. I think they're all great in their own rights. They all did their things. Obviously, they're all the best or one of the best at their respective positions. And then I was like, I think LeBron has more mileage on his body at his age. Like, I feel like he just, because of what he's been doing throughout the season and then the playoffs, and since he's been playing professionally since 18, that's why I went out and said what I had to say. So you and a lot of other people, it was mainly the other people, they were all like, nah, Serena Williams, what are you talking? What do you mean mileage? We out here and we do this. You don't understand what tennis players do. You don't understand what they do. So that's why I get what you're saying. I hear it. But now just break down exactly a tennis player's practices. I want to know how grueling it is. Like, we can run the clips of you playing. I just don't, like, I get it. I see what you're doing, but still, it's hard for me to understand as someone who maybe only picked up a racket once in my life and haven't really played it.
So I think the sport it's one of those sports where it's like you have to have a pretty like a certain body type almost. For me, like I'm a skinny kid. I'm not like a super built guy. A lot of times you're not supposed to be like a built guy to play tennis. So the training is kind of a lot of cardio. Like I've been running like a mile probably a day since I was like 11 years old, and now more than a mile like that. So it's a lot of endurance, especially if you're playing those long matches. Tennis matches aren't like timed, so like they could go anywhere from like an hour and a half to like 5 hours. It really all depends on how long that match is. A lot of times it's in the like the top 50, top 100, those like guys kind of fighting for their spot. It's like long practices. I mean, I know for a fact, like, there's a Russian tennis player named Daniil Medvedev. He's claimed multiple times that he sits there and practices for like 5 hours a day, like in the hot sun, like nonstop. So these guys are always training. Not only that, but they're always traveling, constantly traveling. So it takes like probably as much energy as possible out of you as far as being a tennis player.
Yeah, no, you're right about the whole you're by yourself. You don't have a team to rely on. Like in basketball or in football players, they come off, their next unit comes on. Same with basketball. If you really need a breather, you're gonna get out. But it's more of, like you said, you need a certain body type. You need the endurance. You need to like be able to stay a long period of time. But
yeah,
at the end of the day, how many games do you think you're playing throughout a month? Like, you guys don't have a specific season, right? You guys just play throughout the whole year,
yeah,
more or less?
So for college, I think it's a little different. I'm not exactly sure when the season is. I think it might be either spring or the fall, or they might do both. I think there's a spring season and a fall season. As far as like me and like tennis players in general, they're playing year round. Like, there's tournaments every weekend probably. For me, I'm probably playing 3 to 4 tournaments a month, so that would be like 3 to 4 during those weekends. I'm probably playing 5 matches probably in those tournaments on average. If it's a good tournament, I'll play a little bit more. Yeah, I mean, as far as like Grand Slams, if you're at that level and you're playing like Grand Slams, you're going to be playing best 3 out of 5 sets, which I don't know if we have time to kind of explain what that means.
Go for it.
But that's kind of like, if you play like a lot of matches are going to be 2 out of 3, and sets are long, and then the 3 out of 5 sets, if it goes into 5 sets and every set is like an hour, you're playing a 5-hour match right there, and then you get a day break, and then that next day you're back on the court. So for these guys, it gets tough, and again, it's a lot of energy used, a lot of mental strength. It's tough, especially for me. If I have to, for instance, like play like a back-to-back match, if I'm playing if I just played like a 2-3 hour match, I'm tired as a bitch. I have to get off that court in an hour I got to get back on it and I have to play again. So not only is I taking that physical strength, not only are my legs feeling like shit after it, also my head is like all messed up too, because I've just been playing. I've just been using all my energy and all my mental strength into that match. And then the next match I got to reset. So for me, it's all about like literally just taking your time on the court. You got to like these tennis players, they all those 1 minute breaks in between games, you really have to like take advantage of those. And that's kind of like one of those lessons I've had to learn as a kid, because I used to rush through all those and I used to get so tired. It was bad. But yeah.
Now, you definitely get smarter as you get older, especially with like the sports you're doing or whatever you're doing in general. So you signed with FDU. You're playing there pretty much as the D1 athlete, which is awesome. Congratulations, man. I'm really happy for you.
That. Yeah, for sure.
For sure, man. What age did you feel like you can actually do this, like take this seriously?
I'm not even gonna lie. I never thought I was gonna be a Division I player. Like when I first started, when I was 14 and 15, I started telling everybody that I was going to be a Division I player and that like I was good enough to be Division I, even though I don't even know if I really was. And like I was always really small growing up. If you like see my old videos, or like even when we probably first met and started DMing, like I was literally still a little kid. So I was always undersized and a lot of kids kind of just overpowered me because there was nothing I can do. And it took me a really long time, like a lot of losses, and really only last year, probably maybe a year and a half ago, I had a really good high school season and like made it to states for the first time. And after that match is when I told myself, I also won the county player of the year. Like I got the email and everything. So after that day, it was like I realized like I could really beat anybody. And it really it doesn't take as much as I thought it did. Really, all I needed was like a little bit of a growth spurt, to be honest with you. And after that, I started winning a lot of matches really fast. And I was kind of getting some emails from D3 schools. I went to visit a couple, and we got my tennis academy here in White Plains hooked me up with one of the coaches because they knew one of the coaches, and the coach was super interested in me. And when I found out that it was Division I, was like, I couldn't even believe it. You know, it was one of those moments where I was like, you know, finally, you told everybody that you're going to be a Division I player. You told everybody that you were there when you maybe weren't, and it kind of all paid off. I guess it was my way of manifesting it. In my opinion.
For sure. Yeah. Now all that hard work did end up paying off. So
sorry, continue. Yeah.
Nah, go ahead, bro. Go ahead. It's all you.
I was gonna say, it was also tough because I've been doing this YouTube stuff for so long as well, and editing people's videos. So I, all that hard work with that and all the training, it was something. It was a really cool experience for me. Hearing about that.
For sure. So we'll get into the YouTube stuff and all that in a little bit, but real quick, just kind of want to know. Someone put up their tweet. I seen the tweet. They want to know, do you have any routines or anything when you go through tennis? Like, is there anything you do before the game or?
I mean, I think before serves, every player kind of has to have that routine. I'll like bounce the ball twice and then serve the ball. That's kind of normal. But for me, the only thing that I can really think of is like I'll honestly, because I love my dogs. My dogs sleep in my bed, so I'll give my dog like a quick kiss and I'm out. A quick good luck kiss and I'm out to the match. Other than that, I feel like there's weird stuff that I do on the court that like I wouldn't realize. Like I need somebody to like tell me if I do anything weird on the court. Because I feel like when I play, I'm so like in my own like head that like I just don't really realize what I'm doing on the outside. So I can't think of really any now. But I mean, I guess the double ball bouncing. A lot of players do it. I mean, one of the best of all time is like he's like bouncing it like 20 million times, touching his face, like picking at his butt, and he'll serve the ball. So it's like a huge thing in tennis for some odd reason. I'm really not sure why.
No,
but
I get it.
Gives you a rhythm. It's kind of like the bouncing the ball,
the free throw
line, right?
Like, it's the free throw thing. Some players shimmy.
Jason Kidd will go like this. Yeah, like
Yeah, no, I get it. I get it 100%. So, is there music you listen to or anything like that gets you hype, or you don't listen to music on your way there? Like, does that?
No, I mean,
change your mood?
I'm a huge Drake fan. Like that's all the guy I listen to. So I'll throw in a Drake hype playlist, and that's about it. I'm a pretty boring guy when it comes to music, to be honest with you. I love the GOAT, to be honest.
Nah, I get you. So we'll talk about basketball real quick. So I met you at the Miami Heat game, right? Because you are a big Dwayne Wade fan.
Wade
right?
last game. That was a cool ass game to go to, by the way.
It was a really great game. He ended up with the triple double. I don't know if you know, but I got my jersey signed that day. Like I ended up.
I remember you told me. I was like, holy shit, yeah, dude. I look so young in that. Look at that.
Yeah, and I think that was the second time we met, because we met once before that. We met at an event. Yeah, we met at that event one time with like there was a lot of 2K players and stuff there.
The 2K event, right? The one in
it was like in Jersey, I think. Yeah.
Yeah. I was with Vic at the time. I remember that.
Correct.
I forgot you were there. I think Afro was there too.
Ambish was there. There's a couple people.
I'm not even gonna lie. I think after that game, I think I cried. Yeah, for sure, I cried after that Wade game. I was in tears after that. That was, I mean, because I'm a huge Wade fan, so like going to that game, first of all, was such a blessing, and like being able to watch him for that last time was something about it, you know. The atmosphere was incredible in there.
For sure. What are these questions? Do you know Will? Will's your friend, I'm guessing, right?
Yeah. Will, ever been inside a well? Can you please tell the story if so? All right, fuck it. When I was in Israel, when I was like 13, I was doing a bar mitzvah thing. The place where my dad grew up and where like all my family is, they have like a bunch of weird traditions. So one of the traditions, I had to basically go inside a well like completely naked. It was kind of a scary experience. It was weird as fuck, but I was 13 and I'm one of those kids who, like, if my parents tell me to do something, I'm like, I'll just do it real quick. I don't want to start a mess. So I think there's a video of it somewhere. I don't even know, man. I'm surprised. I expected it to be asked.
That's awesome. That's awesome. I didn't see that coming. So, all right. So something that I mentioned in the beginning, but people don't know this if they don't watch you. You're one of the best editors out there, like hands down. Like that's why you and Denver man. That's why having you and Denver together just makes so much sense. Like the Denver, I'm sure, kind of like his style. Maybe you fed off of it a little bit or something, but man, your style is so clean, so great for your age, man. The amount of work you put into your YouTube videos. Tell us a little bit about it. How many hours you put into making a video, man?
So first of all, what you said about Denver influenced me. He for sure influenced me, especially since, we became friends when I was pretty young. And I kind of just started, learning editing. So he taught me like almost everything I know, which I'm very grateful for, because he's an unbelievable editor. Like he's easily the best editor in the community, in my opinion. But for me, I'm usually, it'll take anywhere from like 3 to 4 hours of video. For clients, I tend to take a little longer, especially if it's like someone big that I really want to make it like good for. But I love editing. I take pride in it. It's something that like I kind of can do to take my mind off stuff. If I'm like feeling down, or like if I just finished a hard practice or just came off like a hard match, like editing is something that just, gets me in, it's another way to get me into like another world, and a lot of concentration, and it's a lot of practice. Like looking back at it, I've been kind of editing at this scale for like 4 or 5 years. So it's like, it just takes a lot of practice. If you're like a YouTuber trying to grow and trying to like start a channel, it's literally as easy as just using like iMovie or like what's the Windows I forgot the Windows editing software, but it's just picking that up and just learning that and continue to go up from there.
No, for sure. What do you think? Yeah, how are you able to balance all that, especially with what you're doing, playing all these matches and stuff?
I still don't even know. Like, I still don't even know how I balance it. A lot of sleepless nights, a lot of like not hanging out with friends during the week and stuff, and it's not for everybody. I don't think like stuff like this, like just doing stuff constantly. Like like my friends are always telling me like I'm constantly busy, I'm constantly like working, or I'm constantly like training or something. So balancing out is tough. I try to create a schedule, but like I feel like when I do create a schedule, it doesn't really work. So I kind of just go by my, like, I go by how I'm feeling. If I feel like editing, for 4 hours. I'll edit that, and then I'll try to, get into practice, and then after that, it's my videos. So it's tough, it's tough to balance it out, but it's possible,
Yeah, it's funny because you brought it up in the beginning, like before we started, and you were like, Denver's always busy, always doing something, and it seems like you're the same way, and that's awesome. So it was a pleasure, Legs, getting to know you a little bit more. Now I just want to mess around with one guy that we both know pretty well from a long time ago. We mentioned it, obviously, how he had an impact on you and all that. So Denver, the man. What's up, Denver?
Well, what's good, boys? How we doing?
We Gucci. You guys want to go ahead and talk to each other first? I don't know how often you guys still talk to each other, but I'm curious how you.
We still communicate all the time. Yeah, no,
we're in parties every night, bro.
Yeah, that's awesome.
But like a little bit too, you were talking about like the history with us. I'll just go into that really quickly. Like I've known Leg since like 2K16 or 7. I think the start of 2K17.
I was like a little kid, 17. Yeah.
I think the start of 2K17 we met through like doing a collab. And then after that, we just played.
We were both in those group chats. All three of us were in that group chat.
Mos was in those group chats too. After we did a little bit of Park, it's how we kind of got closer and closer. And over the years, it's just been kind of like a really good friendship. So it's just built over the years.
Yeah. No. Yeah. I mean, Denver has helped me with a lot because this kid practically grew up with me. So I was a really little ass kid when I met him, and I'm kind of now an older guy.
I've seen the guy grow up, man. Literally, like, I mean, you have two votes, but like, holy crap, like, I've like lived with this guy when he's been growing up. It's crazy. From before he's in high school now. It's wild.
Ups and downs, bro. Ups and downs.
Nah, that's for real. Like, so for a lot of people, I feel like we've seen it through Twitter. Some people might be newer and don't even like get it or think you guys are serious, but you guys always had this like. I'm not even gonna say fake beef because it's not even beef at this point. It's just you guys just joke around way too much. Whether it's like it's just everything.
What's funny
like
about that is because Denver like has always been like that, and I used to take it really personally. Like when I was younger, I used to get really upset when he used to fuck with me, and it's kind of grown into just like now I kind of get at him too. And I'm not like a little bitch anymore, so that's kind of how it all stemmed. And then with the fake diss tracks and everything.
We had those diss tracks.
Dude, the first diss track was, I think both of our first diss tracks were good.
Nah.
Second one of mine was ass. Like, I'm talking good for me. Like, I'm ass. I can't rap or sing. So it's good for me. But, like, the second one, I don't want to talk about that one. That was trash.
We have the diss tracks here, so we could actually go through them. You guys listened to them recently or not?
Please don't play them.
No,
Please don't
there's
play
so
It's been like
I just want you guys to see how, bro, it's been 4 years since that time almost. We almost pushing 4 years since you guys uploaded those.
Bro, that, I'm not gonna lie, the first diss track, like, I feel like I made that in, like, 2K, like, 19 or something. That doesn't feel like I made it, like, I think I made it, like, 2K7, like, 18. I think I made it 2K18 or 17. Like, that's wild.
Bro, even if you see what I look like in the first one, I literally look like an actual little kid. Like, I could literally be in, like, fucking 6th grade, bro. Like, that shit is jokes.
Kind of weak, roast me for playing tennis. No damn well you unathletic, spending all day on some game.
It wasn't bad, now I think about it. It wasn't bad.
I'm literally more athletic than you'll ever be.
That's cat. That's cat.
Some good cat. Play tennis!
That's cat.
Do I gotta say anything else? Play fucking tennis.
I mean, maybe at the time.
Who the fuck plays tennis?
Oh, you 19, but you look 14! And you kind of look like Mickey. Kind of funny that you love Ariana so bad, but you know you ain't gonna get her. Honestly, you don't want this beef, but when you come at me, I never fell, so hold this fucking out. You ain't that good at it. Ronnie give you everything, it's just a breeze, man.
I
The way you
remember
play, you
that
get literally
part.
a disease. How your brother better at best than you, it's kind of funny.
Click that here.
Dude,
dying.
That bar specifically, when you talk about Los, Nick, and DBG, I remember I got kind of cheesed by that one, because, like, I remember DBG and Nick, like, they came to me for collab, like, to do a video with. So, like, I remember, like, when he posted that, like, it was jokes, but, like, inside me, I'm like, dude, I'm, like, low-key kind of cheesed. Like, I actually gotta come back with some fire, bro. Like, what the hell?
Yeah, and there was
Yeah.
fire that came back. I just want to see our reactions watching that back after all this time.
I can tell you were lame with the tennis flow, ayy. Ain't nobody
This one
wanna
had
watch
cheese,
YouTube
bro.
videos,
It had
ayy.
cheese.
Legs look like a
The second one
on a
cheese,
tennis
bro.
court. Last time I checked, tennis wasn't even a sport. Yeah, so you slide up in my DMs, all thirsty for a clout chase. Boy, you thought you know shit about 2K. I just heard your voice looking like the 3rd grade. Legs out here looking like a washed up D-Wade. You boy, looking like a snake from Gold State. Remember those
Denver
videos?
put them on.
Alright, you paid. I'm making moves like Curry with the shot, boy.
This is 1K a video in Denver, bro.
Fire.
That's 1K a video Denver.
Dude, don't lie,
That's
that D-Wade
goated.
bar? That was fire, bro.
It was that was pretty clean.
fire.
It was clean. The second one, I
Y'all
don't know
both
why.
had good bars.
I don't know why to this day you think the second one is worse. The second one cheesed me way worse. The second one got me.
Wait, you think my second one was good? Like that?
Yeah, your second one was better. You had more like personal shots. Like the shots weren't as personal back then because like there wasn't anything to attack me personally for. But I think like I went through like something that summer or something, and then Denver kind of put that shit in his video, and the Jester stuff. It cheesed me, bro. That's jokes.
Good times.
Oh man.
Good times. Good
Remember,
times.
I just wanted to go through that little memory lane, kind of. Literally 4 years ago, he was looking like an infant. Legs, man, you were so young. And then Denver with them bars. I didn't expect that when it first came out, but that was that whole diss track era, right? That's like Rice Gum was doing his
Yeah.
thing.
So we were like,
Yeah, no, I was gonna say if you literally could tell by like the beat in the song, like that was literally from a Rice Gum song. I literally used a Rice Gum instrumental in that song, and then my second one, I used a Road to Shaw instrumental. So they were just both off YouTube beefs, like both of them.
yeah, because at the time, like that, I think that year stretch where we kind of made both of them, there was like a lot of YouTube beef going on. Like it was like the Rice Gum days, like the early Rice Gum days kind of shit. So we kind of wanted to capitalize on it. And I think I went like the original story is I went on stream and like started like saying stuff about Denver, and like people actually believed it for a second. For like 2 hours, people actually believed the beef, and then people saw that it was completely fake. But that was jokes. Good times.
It really
Good
was.
times.
Such a long time ago. Like we were talking about how like the years flew, or it just doesn't feel like the same. And man, when you look back, I don't know. So Denver said he feels like it was just yesterday that he made that video, or basically like last year, 2 years ago. But I feel like it's been so long. I know it, like a part of me thinks, oh yeah, we were just like yesterday, but it's been a long time. We all grew up, we matured.
I remember that era, like associated when you were working at the NBA store. Remember that, like,
Yeah.
I remember that, and I still remember this day. I loved your
And I just remember
NBA vlog, NBA store vlog. I love that video. Still do.
I remember the Kemba Walker intro. Intro.
Yeah, that's it.
I remember like multiple people went up to the fucking meet Mos. Like I know Risk met Mos. I like the Ryan was meeting Mos. I remember those days. All the pictures being taken. Mm-hmm. Good times, bro. Good times.
Nah, it really was.
I should have went down to the NBA store during that time for sure. I missed out on my chance. I'm not gonna lie.
You should have. I was hooking people up too. I hope no one sees this from there. Actually, I don't even care no more. But I was hooking people up. It was good times. It was good times. Nah, it's a long time since then. I want to go back to my first ever like YouTube live stream. So I don't know if you guys even know this or remember this, but literally Legs was my first ever donation on YouTube. Like legitimately, shit. I went through it, and it was $1, but still, like the thought. And then if you look, the fourth person you see is DenverStruck, and he said, "We love you." Like that's just love. And this was probably I don't even know how many years ago that was, but it's been that long. You guys have been supporting.
It's crazy it's been that long, cause dude, I literally remember I Legs Practice too. We were in a party chat when we donated to you that money. Wow. Like I like you said, you may feel like it's long ago. I personally don't feel like it was that long ago, bro. Like it feels like a year or two, like not 4. It's
for me, bro. I'm not gonna lie. I went through puberty during those 4 years, so I'm saying that was long as fuck for me, bro. Like literally so long. But I remember that Denver. We were both in a party and we were trolling Mos about the Big Macs, the McDonald's.
Yes,
remember that?
Inside joke. The Big Mac Mos joke, man.
The Big Macs.
That's a classic, man.
I'm not gonna lie. I bought Big Macs with that money. Like I definitely bought 2 Big Macs, 2 for $5. Like I'm not even lying. Like that's what happened with that.
Good times. No, yeah, for sure, bro. I mean,
not for real. You guys have been there from the jump, and the reason I say it's a long time is because we really like a lot just happens, like as us as individuals. Like, yeah, at that time we were probably like, I think we were all under 2K subscribers, 1K subscribers. Like, we were all really, we started from the bottom. We were just getting our feet under us, and we all took our different paths a little bit along the way. Like, it wasn't an easy road for any of us, and it's just been a grind. It's been a journey, and that's why I keep saying it's been a long way to the top.
It's a long process, man. It's only gonna keep going, man. We're still, like I was talking about earlier, we're still in the journey, man, and it's a long process, baby.
For sure.
Yeah, bro. Literally. I mean, I'm like 17 years old. I think I got some time here. You know, it's still a process.
For sure.
But,
is there any real beef that was ever made? Like, I know Lex just said that he kind of took it personal at some points in the beginning, but do you guys think there is anything, or it's y'all really?
There's been times. There's been times when, like, you want to go?
You can go ahead. Yeah, okay, I'll go. Okay, I'll go. There was times where, like, sure, we've like kind of been heated at each other, quotation marks. But like at most, it was like some stupid beef, just because like I've been so close with this kid for so long. So like if we ever would fight, it's like two brothers fighting. Like it doesn't actually.
Yeah. We'll go like head to head sometimes, because like we both do the similar stuff, and we both like kind of have the same visions and like goals. So like sometimes we'll clash heads. And back in the day, it was more like that. But nowadays, there's really no fights. I can't really think of times when we fight unless like it's with your brother. I mean, yeah, I mean, yeah, we don't fight a lot. I don't think, like, I can't, like, we used to more. There's been times.
But even back then, though, we really didn't a lot, though. It's just like
it was just banter.
It was banter, though. Yeah, it's really banter.
Yeah.
It was never actually like mad at each other.
For sure. Yeah.
Nah, you guys all haven't met at all yet, right? Like nothing.
Nah. We were supposed to.
Yeah,
literally a year ago, we were supposed to.
Yeah,
we were both gonna go to.
I got this kid to buy freaking courtside seats with me. Like I was talking about earlier with you, to see Luka. Like I literally convinced this kid to buy courtside seats. He bought them. Well, obviously that got shut down. But so we're supposed to.
That was literally. It was gonna be the best month of my life, and it got canceled. So we still talk about that. But I mean, there's gonna be a time, I'm sure, when Denver comes down to New York, when he stops being a pussy and just calls a flight.
I actually told Denver that I'm gonna go out to him if this video gets a certain amount of likes and views and all that. So if you're free, we can set it up so we're both there.
Come on,
I'm dead ass down, bro. I'm dead ass down.
I'm probably gonna drive, to be honest. I like the whole road trip stuff. So
yeah, no, I've driven like that before. Like I've gone to Vermont, like 5.5 hours. So I can drive there. I'm pretty solid at that.
Yeah, pull up. Worst case scenario, we'll take turns and stuff. We'll make it fun. We'll have a nice vlog, and we get to meet Denver and beat him in basketball real quick, and
get to be in Canada a little bit.
For sure.
Get a quick road trip down here to Canada.
Yeah. Get some Big Macs, you know the vibes.
Yeah, dude, we have lots of Big Macs.
It's the only burger he eats. The only burger he eats.
So. Literally the only burger I eat, but I don't even eat that anymore. So I don't even eat burgers.
So now that I have you both here, I'm actually gonna tell you, Denver. So Legs actually mentioned this earlier. He said how he takes parts of like his editing from you, right? Like you inspire him in a sense, right? Which is awesome. Like I love that you guys had each other to look forward to, like just pick off each other and inspire in a sense. Like you both have similar styles, and I want people to make sure they follow you both on YouTube. Like it's very, very important. It's free to subscribe to people. Their links are down below. It's mad easy to just hit the subscribe button and show them love, because they're both out here doing their thing with everything they got going on. We mentioned everything they each are doing on the side, and like, is there something for you, Denver? We'll start with you so you guys don't cut each other off. But is there something that like Legs does that helps you in any sense, like that ever pushed you in?
I mean, for sure though, right? Like it's just a simple thing of like we're both grinded together though, right? So like I'm not gonna like I'll watch, like don't get me wrong, I support the boys. Like I'll watch Legs' videos, but like as I explained earlier, like I get like I'd say 99 to 100% of my inspiration from OG content creators back in the day. So it's not really like the inspiration that goes to my videos. It's more so like I was talking about the whole journey though, because like we've been through this like together literally since like 2K17 now. So like he's been like with me the whole time, kept on pushing out content with me through 2K18. 2K19 was a good time. The 2K20 was horrible. He's been with me the whole time, so it's like having a partner beside you the whole time, and it's just extra motivating because you see somebody else grinding, so it makes you want to grind too.
For sure.
Yeah,
I think that's really important, and for anyone starting off, they definitely need to find, like, maybe not someone doing the same thing, but in general, just someone in life that can help push you or be alongside you in your path, for sure. Go ahead, Legs.
For me, I think Denver has because I never had. I mean, I'm gonna say it here. I think I've never really had like an older brother type of figure. So Denver kind of works with me kind of as that in some ways. Like for even just like the editing, like I would have never gotten to editing videos if it wasn't for Denver. I mean, a lot of inspiration from him. I think mainly it's his work ethic. I don't think anybody like I mean, there's a lot of people who work hard, but I've seen Denver like for the last like 4 years work that hard every single day. Like I told you before, when I was when I was just me and you, I told you like this kid is always doing something and he's always grinding, he's always working.
Yep.
He used to, even when he was like editing for MMG and like editing for like LSK, it was like a grind like, every day for him. Like I've seen the kid completely burnt out of his mind at some points, and he's always just kept going. So I think it's always really inspired me. And even when I'm having rough days and if I don't want to get up and edit a video, I always think about what Denver would say. And yeah, and even just like if I've had like dark times, like I've gone through breakups with him, I've gone through a lot of stuff with him. So he's definitely somebody who I can like kind of text and kind of get his advice on some stuff. So he's helped me through a lot for sure.
That's awesome. That's awesome that you guys have that figure and have that relationship. Because sometimes I feel like along this journey or along this grind for myself, at least, I had someone that was always there when I felt like I needed someone to message, but it got to a point sometimes where I was just so focused or lasered in that I didn't really have anyone to talk to. And that's something like that isolation or just being by yourself or feeling like you're alone is tough on a person. And especially like in this day and age where mental health is so important, because especially that during maybe COVID, for example, like being home alone or not having interactions with people, all that stuff like hurts, or it's just good that you guys had that. I'm really happy for you guys.
For sure. Yeah, for sure.
It obviously, as you were alluding to, it's great to have somebody that you can like constantly reach out to, like whether it's a friend or whether it's whatever kind of figure that you can consistently, and like it's really good when you have it in the same industry too, because they know exactly what it means. Sure, you can talk to your parents or like your sister, but 95% of the time they're not going to actually know what you mean and or what you're going through every single day. So having somebody in that same industry goes a long way.
For sure.
For sure. I advise if you're like somebody who wants to do YouTube long term, I actually definitely advise you to like find somebody who does something kind of similar to you, kind of makes the same certain videos, whether that's 2K, whether that's the way you edit. Find someone who's kind of doing the same thing and kind of get that go through the path with them. And I think that's the best advice I can, in my opinion. I mean, yeah.
Nah, I'm with you 100%, and that goes like besides YouTube as well. That's in everything in life. Like whether you're studying to nursing, whether you're studying this, or even if it's work, no matter what it is, just try to make someone that's doing something similar. It definitely helps you. It just, even if you don't want to talk too personal with somebody, it's just still good. Like whenever you need someone to bounce an idea off of or whatever the case is, I feel like that's very important.
For sure.
I think it comes back to a thing. I can't remember like the exact wording of it, but it's basically just getting like a circle of like people that like works as hard as you. You know what I mean? Because then it pushes you to keep going, right? Like put yourself circle around the right people, basically.
Yeah. That's kind of what I was alluding to earlier when I asked you that question about Legs, because I knew like we know who inspired you. I was just seeing if the push and the helping, motivating, because you all work hard. I think most of the people in the 2K community are, I'm not going to say to look down upon, but we don't get the credit we deserve in our effort, right? And when you look at both of your works, like you guys put so much work into your edits, and you could see that we talked about it. And it's just something that I wish people outside noticed, because at the end of the day, a lot of people are like, oh, you guys are just creating content. You have the best job in the world. It's not that simple. If it was, everyone would do it. And that's how I usually explain it to like my sisters, my parents. Like my sisters are always like, oh, college is this hard and that. And then like if I say something, she's like, oh, you just make videos. Like, you think
No,
it's
it's
easy.
not. It's not that easy, bro.
yeah.
Like we've all had real jobs here too. Like I'm
never
not
had a
gonna
real
like
job.
this is okay. Maybe other than Lex because he's super young. But bro, you and me, we both had like in real life jobs, bro. This YouTube stuff is 10 times more stressful, 10 times more mentally draining than anything I've ever done. That's including university too. That's including college, whatever you want to say. So just the whole recording thing is a bunch of bull jive because this is easily the most draining job I've ever had.
I agree 100%.
Yeah.
I think I've worked in almost every industry possible, including engineering, including like you name it. Like I literally done everything in my life because I wanted to experience everything, and this is by far probably the hardest thing I've done personally. I'm not saying it's the hardest thing in the world. Saying like I'm not taking away anything from doctors or from nurses, fire department, like any of that. I'm not saying anything like that, but it is really mentally draining, and I just want
is
people to
mentally
know
draining.
and put some respect on like all content creators. Show them some love. Like make sure you tell them we appreciate your work. And I'm not saying that so you guys say that to me. I'm just saying whoever you like to see or any of that, just make sure you tell them that you appreciate them.
Yeah, just
No,
realize
it's
it's not as
definitely-
simple as just recording a video and posting it. It's not that easy.
No,
For
never.
sure. Is there Legs? Is there anything that we don't know about you that you want to say now that me and Denver could find out, the rest of the world could find out?
Shoot, I don't know. I don't know. You're kind of putting me on the spot with this question. I think
know,
Denver
man.
knows almost everything about me, man. Like I can't think of something that Denver's gonna not know.
I didn't know about the well until like a week ago.
That is true. I don't know,
Oh my
man. I can't think.
God.
Denver, you got anything? I can't think of it. I can't think
I
of
was
anything
talking
right
about the
now.
well, bro. I didn't know that until like a week ago, bro.
I can't think
Or
of
you-
other things like that.
you
I mean,
don't
I
know
had
about
to
that?
shoot a chicken at that. I could talk about the well again. I had to shoot a chicken too that day. I had to do a bunch of weird stuff that day.
So that's kind of like your it's like similar to a bar mitzvah. Like obviously it's different, but I'm saying is that like
Yeah.
what it is there?
It was
or-
like it's a traditional bar. It's like a very traditional bar mitzvah. It wasn't like a super religious one. But like I did some religious stuff and like, yeah, it was kind of nice. Like we had like a whole party at the end. Like the whole village showed up because it's like a small village. So, you know, they had like a big screen of me and like a bunch of pictures of me. So it was pretty cool. It was a cool experience. I don't know.
That's
I mean,
dope.
I think, yeah. I haven't been to Israel since literally like at least 3 years. So I don't know. It's been
that
a
was
while.
kind of like the last time almost you've been there. Almost. Yeah.
Yeah, almost.
That was the answer I was looking for, that he knew everything about you. So now this is basically like the last thing we'll talk about before I fire some like just quick fire questions. So Denver, do you remember like the first time someone, like whether it was at school or outside, that someone like knew about your videos, that recognized it or anything like that?
Yeah, it's funny it happened too because it happened like in literally 2K19 when I had
That
I didn't
late?
have like yeah that
It was
what
really
happened
that
when
late?
I had when I had like 30 some K I think or like 40 something K. It happened literally at my university, bro. Like it literally happened where I went to school. This guy walked up to me. He's like, "Bro, you're the one who makes 2K videos?" I'm like, "Yeah, man." Like, what the hell? That was literally the first time I've ever met somebody in real life that knows their videos. Now, like sometimes, like obviously, like you were talking about brother earlier, right? A lot of the kids at his school too, because he tells a lot of them, but a lot of them just know because they play 2K2, like about my videos.
Yeah, a lot of people in my school know about Denver too. Like they ask me about him. They'll ask me like they'll be like, "Oh, like Denver's like getting views now, right?" Because they knew him from the diss tracks and like, and I'm like, "Yeah, Denver's he's getting views." Like I don't know how else you want me to respond, but yeah, I get some talk about Denver over here.
That's what's up. Now, like, so did you since you started younger than most of us, like you were in it from the jump, and I always told you this, like you got to just keep pushing because you're way higher in subscriber count than all of us at that age, right? We all kind of started way behind you in age. Don't think of it as years. Like, don't be like, oh, this guy is here and I'm here. But so at your age, in your school, where is it something that you went out and told people, or because I've always wondered, like me, I feel like I would have just never told anyone. If someone found out, maybe. So I want to know what you were like in high school. Were you like telling your friends, or they just kind of found out? Or
Yeah, I've been doing YouTube since like middle school, so I think a lot of people kind of found out then. I like posted like a Ronaldo in a pack video, and like I was like screaming. I don't know if you guys have ever seen that video. I maybe Denver has, but and I was screaming like at the top of my lungs, and like people started finding that video and started like playing it, and I started getting like really upset about that. And I think people like just found out as like time went on, because like I've been doing it for so long, so like people kind of just found, like now, literally just now, like my tennis academy found out about my YouTube like recently. So like randomly people will like find out about it, like, and like I don't know how much. I mean, it is what it is. I didn't like it at the time. I used to hate it. Like I felt like I used to get bullied in high school for it, and then like, or in like middle school and like high school. At one point I was just like, I really don't give a fuck what any of you think. Like I'm just gonna keep doing it. But it happens a lot. Like if you're in school doing YouTube, I'm sure, like I know you guys probably won't relate to it as much, but like if you're in high school doing YouTube, like you'll get like attacked for the videos. Like you'll like just like people just come up to you and just start like fucking with you about it, and it's like it's just a part of it. It's just a part of the journey. I think a lot of people who are in high school right now who do YouTube probably most likely experience that. It's annoying, but it kind of comes with it, I guess.
No, I believe you. I feel like whatever you're doing in your life, if you feel passionate about it or you want to do it, like don't worry about the outside noise. Just follow your path, follow your dream. And like all those people that probably made fun of Legs at that time, like at the end of the day, they're not doing what he's doing. He's not putting in the work and the effort, and it's going to pay off for him. I'm sure it is already. And just stay laser focused, I want to say, but also like the outside noise is something you got to cancel out. You guys got to just, for anyone listening to this that needs it, once again, just make sure you do that.
And if you're younger, like you can't let like other people influence like how you make your video. Like you just can't. And I think that like you like it's kind of a hard concept to grasp, but you really just have to ignore them. Like that's the only thing you can do, and like it is what it is. There's gonna be people who will support you too. Like there's a lot of my friends who do support me, but like there's a good amount of people who will make fun of you for whatever you're doing. I mean, it's looking like a common thing now, especially with all these kids who are like blowing up on TikTok. Like if you're just like a regular high school kid, like never done anything with social media, and you're blowing up on TikTok, you're gonna get hammered in school usually.
I felt that.
Yeah, I was basically just gonna say off of that, because you guys were talking about staying true to yourself and whatnot. Just like stay 10 toes down. Don't fold. Like be yourself. Like don't like, there's gonna be people no matter what you do that are gonna like send a hate comment away eventually, or like not like your content. That doesn't mean you just have to switch up your content, because you can never please everybody. People have preferences. You can't please everybody. So stay true to yourself, and then just keep on that grind. And like I said before, it's a process. Just don't change up what you do based on what everybody else says, because you're never gonna be able to please everybody.
That's something I'm still learning till this point. Like I've been doing this forever, and I'm still learning the whole you can't please everyone, because whenever I see it, it's hard. We all see the hate, and it's so like one bad comment, you might have 1,000 good ones, but you see the one that's bad.
You see that little noti pop up at the middle of the night or something, right? And you're like, damn, man, I was having a good night, and then this guy just says this, and this, and it's like, bro. It does change your mood sometimes, not gonna lie, but yeah, overall, yeah, it's still a learning process, like I was saying, for me too, but yeah, no, stay true to yourself for sure.
Also, there are like times when like you're definitely like if even if like if the views aren't coming, a lot of times there are gonna be times when like you don't want to do this anymore. Like there have been at least probably, I mean, Denver knows, at least like 6 times where I've been very close to just like quitting YouTube and like never uploading again, and like it's always the same thing. It's like if you say, there's no point in quitting. If you quit, everything is gone. You lost all like years of work. And
like you started off basically for no reason. Doesn't make sense. And what's it called?
Exactly.
Like it happens every year, most Legs, because I tell Legs all the time. At the start of the 2K year, after like the first month, the hype of the game for my team goes down like crazy. So those couple of months on your YouTube channel compared to what they were before in the summer, they're probably not going to look that good. But you got to realize it's going to get better, and it's all like seasons. Like not every single month of the year is going to be some crazy banger month, I should say, for 2K. So you just got to push through that in it, because it's all a process.
And if you push through that, it's a reward at the end, because then the April and April through July views come in. So it's all worth it at the end.
For sure. And that's everything in life. If it's easy, no one would do it. Like everyone would be able to do it. So it's one of those things we talked about earlier. You just gotta stay true to what makes you passionate, what makes you happy, and keep pushing, and you'll break through. You never know how close you are too. That's the one thing. Like you might be one video away from like being famous or whatever you're looking for, right? Well, maybe someone's looking to be famous, someone's looking to please others, whatever it is, you don't know how close you are. So just keep going no matter what it is. So now I'll end this podcast. I appreciate you both. I just want to quickly fire questions at both of you, all right? It's going to be about life. It has nothing to do with 2K, YouTube, nothing like that, all right?
Just
so
like
I want
answers?
Yeah, just whatever, first thing that comes to your head, it'll be simple, nothing too crazy, all right? So, Legs, what is your favorite animal?
Quickfire, go.
Quickfire. A fox. Foxes. I love foxes, bro. Foxes are dope.
What about you, Denver?
Tiger and elephant, 100% tied.
That's awesome.
Tiger
that's awesome.
and
All right.
elephant?
Yeah, that's actually interesting.
That's kind of basic, bro.
Nah, it's not basic, but what's the
feels
reason behind the
basic.
elephant?
Well, as a kid, the only animal toy that I always had was a damn elephant. So it quickly became my favorite animal as a kid. And then growing up, I'm like, yo, the tiger's way cooler, but I had to stay true to the elephant. So the elephant's still my favorite too.
You know what's funny? You know how people say elephants have really good memories?
I
Denver
have
has
a
probably
memory.
the
I'm
worst
opposite.
memory of anybody I've ever met. Like, this kid will forget something that I told him like an hour ago, bro. I'd be like,
I can't tell myself what I had for breakfast this morning because I won't remember.
That's awesome. All right, so I won't ask you that question, but all right, if you had one place you could live, like if you were gonna move, where would you go, Denver?
Dallas, and that's a life plan of mine because Luka Doncic plays there, and I want to have season tickets courtside, and I want to watch every single game and become friends with Luka. That is one of my life goals. That's where I live.
I'm gonna say if you could wait. Just so you know, when we got off Denver, I was talking to like my set producers and all that. Both my guys, appreciate both of them, and they were like, "Yo, you looks just like KP, just like you said. He looks like KP."
Yeah,
So,
man. Like, all the time, man. Like, you feel me? I got my Luka card too, man. I love this man.
that shit is dope.
I mean, so
Oh, did you get the Infinity Gauntlet?
Yeah, I gotta just go pick it up. It's literally here. I literally just gotta go pick it up.
Oh shit. Place I would live. I'm gonna keep it pretty basic. I'm gonna just say the city, like New York City. I just think if I'd have anywhere to live, it'd be there. You got everything there. It's like my hometown. It's you know, all the best food in the world. I'm saying New York.
So you're not going.
Denver
to
doesn't know about
with
New York.
Denver
That's why.
Yeah, he doesn't. But you want to go to Dallas with
Hey,
him?
that's the plan. That's the plan. Shit.
We talked to Denver about his favorite foods. I actually didn't get your Legs. So can I get some of your favorite foods, man? Especially that you said New York has the best food. I want to know.
I really love like an Israeli dish. You know, I love falafel. I love pita and hummus. I could eat that every day. I love chicken sandwiches, man. I love chicken sandwiches. I know Denver's not gonna like that answer, but I love chicken sandwiches so much, man. Like if there was like any restaurant, that's like my go-to. If like I don't know what to order on the menu, I'll go with the chicken sandwich. Couple pickles in there, maybe a nice sauce. Perfect.
Oh, all right. So going off sauces, what are your favorite sauces for food? What about you, Denver?
I mean, definitely ranch. Ranch goes with like anything. Like, I love ranch with deep fried pickles. I love ranch with salad. I love ranch with pizza. Ranch just goes with everything. It's definitely mine.
That's it. Just ranch.
I
got
thought
three.
I thought he was meaning one. I mean, if I have to name more, like definitely mustard. Like, cause I said this in streams before, but like
We've had
as
this
a kid, I used to
conversation, bro.
I used to just have mustard and then white bread, and that's all I had as a kid growing up in my lunch, like a mustard sandwich.
That's disgusting,
So,
bro. That's
yeah,
literally
people call me like
disgusting.
psychopaths for that,
That's
but I like it. And then who doesn't like ketchup though, right? Like ketchup goes.
I
with,
hate
like, every kind of-
ketchup.
Okay, Legs doesn't like ketchup, but it goes with like every BBQ dish. So
Facts.
those are like top three.
Facts.
I'm
About
thinking- I
that
got
mustard
three.
answer though. Yeah, we'll get to you, Legs, but I want to
Yeah.
stop at that mustard, man. That's like a real struggle meal, man. I don't know if that's just what you wanted or like
No,
y'all were
because
struggling
bro,
out
like,
there.
bro, my whole family too, bro. They like every food, bro. I'm very picky, not by choice. Like, I will try a lot of things. My taste buds are a different story. I don't like a lot of things, so I don't have a lot of options.
Gotcha,
Most, I
gotcha.
know I'm gonna take this guy to the best spots in NYC, and he's gonna hate all the foods, bro. Just watch, man.
Facts.
Just watch. 3 sauces. I have 3 go-tos. I got honey mustard, barbecue sauce, and like Chick-fil-A sauce. But like I don't know if that counts. But
Nah,
like
Chick-fil-A
those three
sauce is
go-tos.
goated. Top tier.
We don't even have Chick-fil-A here, so I wouldn't even know about Chick-fil-A sauce.
Bro, we're gonna bring you
Chick-fil-A,
Chick-fil-A
man.
on our way, man. Well, it'll
He's not
still be
gonna like
good.
it.
Nah,
Just
there's
take the
no
chicken
like
out
it.
and I'll enjoy it.
Just take the chicken out. So he'll just have a bun with pickle and Chick-fil-A sauce. That's it.
Sounds good.
Besides that, do you guys collect anything? Any hobbies? Like things that you collect? Not really hobbies, but anything you collect?
Well,
Legs.
I literally. Oh, okay, go ahead, Legs.
My bad, yeah.
I've been collecting Funko Pops recently. I have like a couple over here. I'm looking at them now. They're pretty tough. Other
one's
than
your
that, I like shoes. I have. Hold on, I'll find it.
Didn't you? I
like,
I think you just got stuff.
I'm gonna go this one just for Denver. This one's for Denver right here. I got the Thanos one. This one's tough.
I knew it.
I like
knew
this
that's
one.
what it would be.
I have a couple here. I have like Lil Wayne, like Shaq, a couple tennis players in there. So I like those, and I've always liked shoe collecting too. Since I was younger, you know, when I used to play basketball, I used to always rock the LeBron shoes and like the Kobe shoes. So I kind of keep that. I have a couple pairs back there. So yeah, that's probably it. I don't know. I wanted to start a card collection, but like
It's kind of hard
know,
right now
man.
to get into cards.
Yeah,
You gotta get into
exactly.
like the Top Shot stuff, man. You gotta.
Yeah.
Now it's all
the
virtual.
Top Shot. I told Denver to get into that, man. I told him.
I've been trying, bro. Every time I'm in line, there's like 300,000 people in front of me, bro. It's a little hard. Like, damn, I can't get none of the packs, man. And like, just talking about obviously, you know, what you're into collecting and stuff. Like I just showed you before. Like I just started this like literally like a month ago. But like my Luka rookie card, PSA 10 and stuff. I want, if you watch soccer or football, whatever you want to call it, I want to get a Kylian Mbappe rookie card too. I want to get his. So I want to start.
This guy
collecting
became an
cards.
Mbappe fan in one night, bro.
I did.
In
I did.
one night.
But we're not talking about that. And then just Lex was talking about shoes. Me personally, I don't know about you, Mos, but I was never super big on Jordans or LeBrons as a kid, just because I felt like they were like really like bulky. They were bigger. So like I was always into the more like slick shoes, like the Kobe's and like the Kyries. Those were the ones I was into, but I was never like a big sneakerhead though. I will say my brother's a different story, but me, not a big sneaker.
I'm not really into sneakers either. The Kyries is something I've been kind of collecting as well. I just kind of like how they look. Like I'm always wearing Kyries or something. And some dude once in my stream, some of you who watch me often know this, he was like, oh, you think Kyries are fashionable? Like you wear Kyries for fashion. I'm like, bro, no, I wear Kyries because I like them. Like it has nothing to do with that. I'm never going to go out there and buy Jordans because other people are. I respect people who do or like them or whatever, but I'm not going to turn myself into a sneakerhead for somebody else. Like I'm not here to impress
Literally,
people.
bro, I see so many people doing that, bro, all the time, whether it's with Jordans, Gucci, whatever you want to make it, bro. They literally just buy something to like appeal other people. It's like, what are you doing, bro? You know what I mean? And with the Kyries, dude, I love Kyrie shoes. I don't know about what that dude's talking about, but I love the design of them personally. And
For sure.
I have his Lucky Charms. I thought those were fire. And then I
Those are
also
fire.
have his Halloween ones with like the green on it.
Nice.
So I have two
Yeah,
Kyrie
those are
shoes.
nice too. Those are fire.
No, yeah, I collect. Because I recently, like a year ago, bought 2 pairs of shoes that like I've always wanted since I was like 9. So like that's kind of what my shoe collection looks like right now. It's just like a couple pairs of shoes that like I bought like just because like it gives me like nostalgia, and it was like shoes that I've always kind of wanted to buy when I was like little. So I was like, fuck it, I have the money now. I can call my pair of shoes. That's really the only
what's
reason
up.
why I would collect shoes. But I agree. I don't. A lot of people buy shoes just because other people are buying them, or even just like brands, and I don't know. You gotta buy what you like.
You're not true to yourself. You're not being yourself if you do in any other way, for sure. And can you guys see that question? What's it going with?
Yes, I can see that question, and my thoughts
Easily
on that
Chick-fil-A. It's
question
not
is,
even close.
No answer for me, NA, because I don't like either of them. So
It's not even close, man. It's not even close. It's Chick-fil-A all day. Come on. That's not. That's
I think it's close depending on where you're from. Like it depends on your culture, or like not culture, but around you. Because if there's not really a Chick-fil-A around you, I guess I could see it. Or if there's not a Popeyes around you, I get it that way. But as someone who's had both, I also agree. I like Chick-fil-A a lot. I feel like
No,
I don't know
I've
if they
had
do,
both.
man. Yeah.
I've had both, but I personally like. I don't know. I Popeyes is good. It's solid. I like
is,
their fries too, but I don't know. It can't compare to Chick-fil-A.
I was gonna talk about because like it's a really big debate topic all the time, like burger chains and whatnot, right? And like you guys are around the same area, so like what's like the biggest like burger chain there? That, like that's like easily like the most popular, you know?
Most popular or like just
like the one
people
that
say
like
is
the
the
fan
best?
favorite, you know? Yeah, like the
Fan
one that
favorite?
everyone
Gotcha.
says is the best. Yeah.
I think a lot of people say Five Guys, Shake
Five
Shack,
Guys is
probably.
yeah.
I see a lot of people lining up in the city. I don't know, like whenever I'm in the city, I'll see like, especially before COVID, like people were lining up for Shake Shack. People love it, so I think that's a fan favorite probably. But I personally like Five Guys better.
And I agree with you though. They're both really clean. They're both up there for sure. I think Shake Shack is number one around me at least, or at least what people always feed off. I know there was definitely hype when Five Guys started, but we were traveling to go to Shake Shack. Like I'm telling you, like we would go an hour if that's the closest Shake Shack to you. Like that's just what it was. And I remember one time I stayed at a hotel in the city. Because I'm like a little outside the city, but I stayed in a hotel room and I had Shake Shack 3 straight times, like for breakfast, lunch, and dinner, like straight up. That's all I had. And it's just one of those things that you could just do.
I think I know I told Lex this, but I don't know if I told you this, but my brother, Isaiah, like, he's in burgers and stuff, right? He tried Five Guys, bro. He hated Five Guys. So, like, this brings up a whole other discussion of, like, on a burger, because I know that it, like, varies, like, it's 2 different type of people. Like, do you like your burger to be, like, really meaty type of feel, you know? Or do you like just, like, a simple burger? Because I know, like, too much meat, like, that's what threw my brother off. Like, it had, like, 2 big-ass patties, and, like, it was, like, too much for him. It's like a whole,
to
like...
be fair, he ordered a double fucking cheesburger. Like, he ordered a double cheese. What did he expect? If he ordered a single one, I bet he would have liked it.
I thought he ordered just the normal cheeseburger. I don't know if they put an extra patty on there, but he ordered the normal.
I can't eat anything but a double personally because of my love for Big Macs. It's just how I roll. But it's just, I don't mind the burger as long as I'm not gonna say the texture, but I just want my meat to be like pure. Like I know it's a good meat, you know what I mean? Like pause or whatever. But nah, when we're talking about Shake Shack and Five Guys, like it just is what it is. Like I just want to know like what I'm eating is kind of good. And I know it's, you're probably like, yo, but you eat McDonald's. Like, nah, I don't eat McDonald's that often. It's just one of those things when I was growing up, it was kind of just so accessible.
Come on, everybody
so
eats
easy.
McDonald's when they're growing up, right? But it's
I've
the thing of
actually
like,
never had a Big Mac.
What's it called?
Wow.
I've never had one.
Five Guys.
I love Big Mac sauce. I think that's my thing. I love Big Mac sauce. So you could have that on anything.
I heard it's good, yeah. Maybe I should try it.
Yeah, you can order Big Mac sauce without a Big Mac, just so you know. Like, you could just literally, like, ask for McChicken and be like, can I get Big Mac sauce on it? And they'll put it. I don't know if it'll be just as good as a Big Mac, but you can do that.
Speaking of chicken sandwich, I think they just made one. I think McDonald's just made a chicken sandwich. I don't know. Have you had that, Mos?
Nah, I haven't had anything new from their chicken sandwiches. I know there's like a new sandwich that a couple places.
They have McChickens, but like a chicken sandwich is different. Like a chicken sandwich is like is like a big piece of chicken, like breaded chicken, and I think that's different than like a McChicken.
I know, like when I'm back home in Egypt or like some places in Europe, they actually got a double, like they got a Big Mac, but instead of meat, they do it with chicken, they do it with fish and other things. So I love it over there, even with the chicken one and stuff. It's dope.
Yeah, in McDonald's in Israel, they don't like serve cheese on the patty, like ever, because it's not kosher. So I don't know, it's interesting. Yeah.
Just talking about Big Macs and stuff, right? I remember going to the States when I was like when I was like 15, 16 years old, right? For basketball. And bro, I didn't even know, because over here in Canada, like there's only like one size. So like when I went to America, I was like so surprised. I'm like, dude, there's like a double Big Mac. What is this? Like what the hell? Like there's like double everything. It's just like a super size. I'm blow my mind.
It's one of the things that we pride ourselves in the States. Like you can get anything in any size, bigger is better, whatever. Like that's just what they go off of. And
the motto.
It is what it is.
Yeah, I mean, Denver, if you're living in Dallas, hope you know that you're gonna have some big ass food over there. Like,
I know, yeah.
They got big ass food.
Hey, but the tax over there is nice. Okay.
It is nice.
That's a fact.
It is nice. It's cheap to live in Texas.
Legs, you even got into taxes yet, man? You even know what that lifestyle is like? A little bit.
You don't want to know, bro. You don't want to know, bro.
I'm an old soul. I've been doing this for too long, man. I feel older than I am, you know. Like I feel older. Like I feel like I'm like Denver's age.
I was gonna say, it feels like you're around me.
Like I'm getting yelled at my dad. Look at this.
Oh God.
I think I held him too long. I think that's what it was.
Bro, he's counting 4K, bro. Oh god.
My fault. See, like I'm exactly like I'm still a little kid getting yelled at by my dad. Yeah. Yeah, I'm good.
No, we all been there. We all did that before, man. If you gotta go, we can wrap this up. I feel like we've been.
No. I have time. He just wanted to say something.
Anyway, we'll wrap it up more or less now. I guess from there, I feel like we learned a lot about you guys both. I feel like it's a lot of things I didn't know, which is cool. Just getting to talk to you guys in person and stuff. So, is there anything that, like, last words? We'll start with you, Legs. Anything you want to say as we get out of here?
I mean, I don't know. I guess if you want to do this YouTube stuff, keep grinding. There's always going to be a path for you. I think it's anybody can do this. Like I said before, when it was just me and you could hop on iMovie and just record a video on your iPhone and you can make it happen as long as you stay committed. And the same thing goes for like sports. If you want to like play tennis, or like even if like you're younger, you might not think you're like a college athlete material, or you don't think you're good enough. Like, just tell yourself you're good enough, and like it actually goes a long way. Like if you start to, like, I told Denver I was going to go Division I before I was actually going to go Division I. He doesn't even know that. Like, I never actually thought I was going to do it, and I think that put it out into existence and manifest it.
I mean, I would just say, basically, stay 10 toes down, stay true to yourself. What we talked about earlier, don't buy stuff, whatever the case may be. Don't change your videos from who you actually are just to appease somebody else, because you can't appease everybody. It's a slow grind. In the words of Isaiah Thomas, it's a slow grind, so you got to keep at it. It's not just – now, seriously, though, like, it's not just consistency either. Like, the second or, like, the first biggest thing along with this, perseverance, bro. Like, when you're in those shitty moments or shitty months or maybe even a shitty year, like, you got to keep going through it, because that's what the grind is all about. So you just got to stay true to that and keep moving forward. For
sure. So right before we get out of here, the whole tennis thing, because you brought it up, it reminded me of something. So Denver, me and Legs had this conversation about tennis, right? He was saying how athletes that play tennis use more energy, or like it's more energy. He was saying like more than NBA players, right? Like,
it's
what do you got to say about
physical
that?
and mental.
Physical and mental
like,
energy.
I don't play tennis, so like it's hard for me to like actually speak on this. But like, you're telling me some tennis player exerts more energy than LeBron
I knew it was coming.
James.
I knew it was coming.
Like, what? You're telling me Nadal?
I'm not saying LeBron James.
You're telling me Nadal is putting in more work and time than Michael Jordan and Kobe Bryant?
You don't know
Get
that,
out the front door,
bro. There are some tennis players changing their whole ass diet, bro. Like not eating meat at all, acting like you, bro. I mean, it's same thing. LeBron is doing the same thing. But
welcome to the NBA.
But yeah, it's different. You can't compare. That's how I'm gonna put it. That's the only way I can say it.
So why are we comparing in the first place? That's the question. So why this conversation start?
I don't know. The conversation started on Twitter, man. I don't like people. See, I just don't like when people disrespect the tennis. That's all.
We're not disrespecting it. We're not disrespecting.
I'm not saying that, but like, people on Twitter. I've seen some replies, or like people in Denver's chat. My chat.
They roast tennis. They do. They roast tennis.
I'm sure we'll get some comments.
But that's the thing though. If you, at the end of the day, you take any of those people and put them on a tennis court, there's nothing they can do. They're not hitting the ball once. They're not going to keep up with you. So at the end of the day, people are going to talk, and it is what it is. You just let them talk.
Hey, and I love basketball, by the way. Like, I've always loved basketball. I don't know if I said that. Like, basketball is my first love. So hey, like, I love the sport. It's my favorite sport to watch easily. So. Yeah, I know how much it takes. I know how much energy it takes for these guys. I'm not knocking them at all.
I will say though, what's it called with tennis and legs, bro? Like I see with this kid, he tells me all the time too. He's running freaking miles over here to stand the third, working out constantly. Deep, like, bro, like tennis is like I troll about a lot, but it's not a joke. It's not a joke.
No, it's not. At this level, once you get to a certain level in any sport, it doesn't become a joke.
I appreciate you guys. Thank you guys so much for being here.
Thank you so much.
It means a lot.
I appreciate it.
I appreciate y'all for your time. I honestly can't thank those guys enough. Just giving us their time to be here. That's so valuable. You guys got to realize how valuable time is. All these guys that are coming on our show, all these guys giving us that energy. I hope you guys make sure you show them love right back because they deserve it. Make sure you guys are subscribing to us as well. It's really important. Leaving the likes. We said 7,500 views and we taking this to a whole different level, right? We said we going all the way to Canada and making something special happen. And that's really, honestly, that's such a low number. You guys can do that within a day. So make sure you guys are sharing this. Make sure you guys are doing all that. We learned a lot in this episode, whether it was just from tennis from Legs. Legs really can teach us a whole lesson on that, for real. You can see the passion in his voice. We learned a lot from my man Denver. Denver was showing us how you got to just be passionate, always trust the process, and always just keep digging and doing your thing. He taught us a lot about connections. Remember, that's important. Something we didn't highlight that much. He only mentioned it once, but it's something that's resonating in my mind, and I hope it does to you. My point of this whole podcast is to learn about your favorite creators, your favorite athletes, all that, but it's a lot more than that. I want you guys to learn and take these things into your everyday life. So with all that said, guys, just make sure you guys are following us on Spotify. Make sure you're following us on Apple, all that good stuff. We're on Anchor everywhere. Make sure you guys like, subscribe. I don't got to mention that ever again. And I'll see you guys later. Thanks for doing the most.